First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Boger City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
I'm Demery Brewer, and you're listening to Tim and Ken on the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show.
Let's go have some fun tonight. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win. X 82 pickle, H disco, 19 yo-yo, deep yo-yo, deep yo-yo. Firm up a little bit, boy. We're going to use a cadence now.
Welcome out to the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. Tim Johnson and Ken Link here on a Friday, Kenny, and I tell you what, we have got a 30-minute power-packed football show of state playoff, and we're going to have a good time here tonight on the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. Ken, I know you and Jason Sane, you guys are going to be going up to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina for the East Lincoln Mustangs.
Yes, it's playoff time, and it gets started tonight. Lots of playoff games, and, folks, we have 3 Lincoln County teams that are in the playoffs, and we'll be talking about those as well as reviewing the season of the 4th Lincoln County team as we cover the Lincoln County football right here on First Federal Savings Bank Friday Night Football Show.
And coming right out of the gate, Ken, the South Fork 2A Conference, Ken, we got a bunch of teams from Lincoln County as well as our the South Fork 2A Conference as well. But first, Ken, we got to say congratulations to the First Federal Lincoln County High School Student Athlete Football Player of the Week, and the final one, and that gentleman is Mr. Brandon Eichert out of West Lincoln High School. Kenny had 150 yards rushing on 16 carries and 2 TDs. On the season, Eichert had 1,187 yards rushing with a 6.9 average per attempt, Ken.
That young man had a great year. That big rushing attack up there, a 2-prong rushing attack with West Lincoln, and his partner there, Fansuk, had won this award earlier in the year, and I was glad to give it to this young man who's been playing really well for West Lincoln. The last 3 or 4 games, he's really been good. We saw him against East Lincoln. He had over 200 yards up there, so he's had a great season. Yeah, outstanding young man. We got to meet him this past Monday. We went up there to present him with the award. And, of course, Tommy Sane, the head football coach for the West Lincoln Rebels. Ken, I tell you what, a first-class young man he is. Yes, and they have a tough opponent in the first round. We'll talk a little bit about that. But they did make the playoffs. There was some doubt about whether West Lincoln could make it in with 4 wins, but they did make it in. Yeah, we're excited for Tommy Sane and his football team, and he's got a young football team, Ken. Oh, they have most of their players back. Yeah. In fact, both of these running backs we talked about will be back. Man, the 2-headed monster and the back. Quarterback. So, I mean, they got their backfield. They got the whole entire backfield, Kenny. You're right. So and have another young man that we mentioned him up there that day. And Pendergrass, and that young man is quick. He's a good ball player. Ken, he's got weapons. He's got weapons up there at West Lincoln. With those 2 running backs, with the quarterback and Pendergrass, I tell you, Ken, they could have a special year next year for the West Lincoln Rebels. They got to be confident coming back next year with what they've got. And the team they're traveling to, Ken, is Reidsville, the defending state 2A champions last year. When you think about Reidsville, you always think about Reidsville and Shelby. One of them is going to win the state championship. For years, they always battled out on the football field. For the state championships and stuff like that. So they won't this year because they're in different brackets. They're in a different bracket. Small A is Reidsville, and small 2A is Reidsville, yes. And the bigger, big 2A is the bracket Shelby's in. Yes, and I tell you, Reidsville, I guarantee they'll make another deep run in the playoffs too. But they got to take on the West Lincoln Rebels and Tommy Sane, and I tell you, you never know, Ken. You never know. And we wish the Rebels all the luck in the world. And, hey, they could go up there and they could win that game. Yeah, they got the running tack to keep them off the field. If they can move the ball up and down the field and score and get a couple breaks, you never know. And, from talking to Coach Sane, he's excited to take his football team up there. Well, yeah, they keep playing. You're always excited to keep playing after regular season. Well, here's the thing. They got a young football team, and they're taking a young football team. This is going to be great experience for them to get them ready for what, Ken, next year. Yes. let's talk about there's 6 teams out of the South Fork 2A conference that made these playoffs, and 4 of them are in the Big 2A. And the ones that are in the Big 2A are Maiden, Newton Conover, East Lincoln, and Bandy's. And undefeated Maiden, who Lincoln give a battle in their last game of the season, but Maiden still pulled it out and remained undefeated. They're the overall number 5 seed, and they play Ford, Fred T. Ford from the Northwestern Foothills 2A Conference. They were 4-2 in the conference and 8-3 overall, had a good record. They played Maiden in the first game of the season and lost that game. I think it was 37-14, but they get to battle again.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, good football teams, and if some reason East Lincoln can pull the upset against Mount Pleasant, like I said, it could be at Maiden.
Yes, they would meet.
Yes,
they
would.
Happen.
It'll be at Maiden High School too. So, I'm sure Maiden's chomping at the bit to maybe get to play East Lincoln again. But I'm sure East Lincoln's chomping at the bit to get to play Maiden again, because after what happened, especially when we saw the video, where we thought from seeing the video that Coach Lubitz showed us, it looked like to me East Lincoln won the football game.
Yeah, so they'll
in double overtime.
I'm sure they'd like to have another opportunity.
Yes, another shot at them. Yes, absolutely.
But they play this week. We'll be there tonight, Jason Saint and myself, to see East Lincoln take over Mount Pleasant, the winner of the Rocky River 2A Conference. They have a 9-2 overall record. Tim, we're undefeated in the conference play, 5-0. Last week, East Lincoln lost to Newton Conover 39-21. Chandler Jones had over 100 yards rushing in that. They got down early in the first half and couldn't quite catch up, even though they scored a couple touchdowns early in the second half. The Newton Conover attack was just too much for them. Mount Pleasant comes in this game on a 5-game winning streak. They're averaging 36 points a game, but they're only allowing 10 points on the defensive side.
That's big. That's big right there.
So they're a good team. There's no doubt about that.
So it looks like you got them down for passing for 138 yards per game and rushing for 207. So they're pretty balanced team.
A little bit. They run more than others, but they can throw it. Any team that throws for over 100 yards, they're a good passing team.
Well, we know East Lincoln's got one of the best defensive players in the state, without a doubt, Ryan Matz. Definitely a great defensive football player.
Yeah, and they've got some other guys been coming along that Judd Reel's been having.
Judd's
He's been having
some
great games here late in the season, getting a lot of tackles. Tim, the East Lincoln's had problems falling down in the first half and then making big comebacks in the second half. They need to go out there and play 4 quarters. If they can play that first half like they do the second half, they could have a chance to win this ball game.
Yeah, they can't get behind in state playoffs, Ken. If they do that, they're going to get beat. Yeah, they're going to have to, like you said, play 4 quarters, come out in the first half, first quarter, establish the run. We know Chase can throw the football. And and put some points on the board. Don't get behind, even if they are behind like a 10, 14-10 or something like that, or maybe a 21-14. They've actually did something they hadn't done in a while. They've scored points in the first half and only down by a touchdown. But when you get down 3 scores in state playoffs and you play in a team that's giving up 10 points per game on defense,
tough to come back.
It's tough, Ken. Really tough.
Come back on that.
Yeah.
And they're key players. I did a little research on them. Quarterback Chance DeQuilla, running back Garrett Overbay, and wide receiver Landon Parker. If you look at those stats, those 3 are the offensive best players for Mount Pleasant, and East Lincoln defense have to do a good job on those to have a chance to win this ball game.
Well, one thing about Coach Lubowitz, we know for a fact, he can make some great adjustments at halftime. Just get those kids ready to play in the first half, Ken. I think they got a chance to upset the Mount Pleasant. So I know you and Jason saying to be there calling that game. So hopefully we'll come back with a win for the East Lincoln Mustangs. And we wish Coach Lubowitz, who's been a great guy, great football coach for the East Lincoln Mustangs.
And Tim, the other game that's really interesting game is Newton Conover. He finished second in the conference. They have a 9-2 record. They're on the road to play Shelby, the Shelby Lions. And boy, what a game. We heard Matt Beam talk about with confidence that he thinks he can play with those type
guys. He thinks he can throw the football against those guys.
So we'll find out. We'll find out tonight whether he can or not.
And he's got some history with Shelby, if you think about it.
Well, he was football coach at Burns, and he's played Shelby. He knows a little bit about that program.
Absolutely. So He knows what it takes to beat Shelby. And and I have confidence in Matt Beam. He's going to go up there and he's going to put some points on the board. But can he hold that Shelby offense down? Because we know Shelby's chomping at the bit to get Weirkin back to the second round to play South Point.
Yeah, because Southport did a job on them last Friday night, and they'd like to have another shot at them. This Shelby defense, Tim's only giving up 11.
They're really good.
11.5 points a game, and we know you talk about stiff competition. But played 2 South Point teams, one in South Carolina, one in North Carolina. Played good 3A team in Kings Mountain. They played Crest, a 3A team. They played tough competition.
Ken, I'm going to tell you right now, I would not want to play Shelby after they've been beat, especially the 4-time state champion of North Carolina in high school football being beat by South Point and then the other South Point team, the North Carolina team, and you got to play them in the first round of playoffs. I would not want to be that football team.
Yeah, on the road.
On the road, too, in Shelby.
Yeah,
so that defense is going to be fired up to make a point. So good luck to the Newton Conover Red Devils and, of course, Shelby, who's part of our radio station here, WOHS, and all the guys up there that'll be calling that game. So I'm looking forward to finding out who takes on South Point the next week.
And Bandy's is the other team that's playing in the Big 2A. And they'll take on number 2 seeded High Brighton, the winner of the Northwestern Foothills 2A Conference. High Brighton's undefeated on the season, so it's going to be a tough road for Bandy's to try to accomplish and get a win on the road against a good High Brighton team, a team that Newton Conover played early in the year and played tough, but ended up losing by 1.
Absolutely. So good luck to the Bandy Trojans. So like you said, Ken, they're taking on a really good football team. Newton Conover played High Brighton in the earlier in the season, and it was a great football team game. I think it was like a 1-point game, I believe you said, Ken, 18-17,
yes,
something like that.
Yes.
So High Brighton undefeated, 6-0, 11-0. Got a good football program up there.
Yeah, they've had last couple years. They've been very good as a football program.
Absolutely. All right, Ken, we're going to go to a commercial, and we'll be back right here on the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. You're listening to Tim Johnson and Ken Link on WLON.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, and Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Yes, this is Tim Johnson of KTC Broadcasting, the best in sports. I'm here with the head football coach of the Lincolnton High School Wolves, Mr. Leffer Gibson. Leffer and them are going to Graham High School this week, and got a big football game, Coach.
Yes, sir. We've had a season. We've kind of turned things around, started out a little slow, but things have picked up a little bit. We've had 4 out of 5 last week and had a real close loss this past week to Maiden, but we played really well, I thought, at least in the first half. Got a big game this week in the playoffs against Graham High School. The game I think we can win if we go out and play the way we're capable of playing. They're a wing T type team. They play a 4-2-5 defense. Big team with some big backs and a couple big linemen. I think our speed can give them some problems if we'll step up and do the things we're capable of playing. We played really well defensively. Our defense has improved a lot the last couple of weeks. Terrell McLean has been a real big part of our offense. He's made some big improvements over the season and done some big things. So that's been a big part of the reason we've improved so dramatically the last few weeks. And then Tyshawn Harris has been one of the best players in the area all year. He just made some plays that are just incredible athletically. So it's been a up and down year, but the last few weeks we've kept getting better and better, and hopefully we can keep that going through the playoffs and see how far we can get it going.
Okay, that's Lincoln head football coach Ledford Gibson talking about his team and this upcoming battle tonight up at Graham as they take on Graham, a team out of the mid-state 2A conference, the conference that Reevesville plays in. Graham actually finished second in that conference with a 2-2 conference record, but Tim, their overall record is only 3-8. They've given up a lot of points this year. They're averaging 20 points a game, but they've given up 43 points a game. So I think Coach Gibson is correct that this is a game that Lincoln can win if they go out and play like they're capable of playing.
I mean, Ken, to me, they've got the best player in the South Fork 2A Conference, Lincoln High School does. That's Tyshawn Harris, without a doubt. He's been remarkable.
He's been great all year, consistent. Each week he's been the star on that Lincoln team. Again, last week against Maiden, he rushed for 140-some yards, had a 64-yard touchdown run. He also returned a kickoff 75 yards, and he's been doing it all year long. I looked up a few stats on him, Tim. He's got 1,772 rushing yards this year, 18 rushing touchdowns. He has 2,258 all-purpose yards and a total of 21 touchdowns when you take in kickoff returns. I think he's got a pass reception, also returned a fumble one game.
And Graham's giving up 43 points a game. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, he'll have a field day, Ken.
Yeah, I think he'll have a big game. I really do.
I mean, we might see him running down, 85? Is that what he's coming, 85? or Interstate 40? But, yeah, I could see Tyshawn having a big game. I'm going to tell you something, Ken. I can see McLean having a good game.
Yeah, McLean's really played well. He's improved every game at that quarterback slot, and he's not going to throw 40 and 50-yard passes down the field, but he's improved as far as hitting his receivers in the short passing game, getting to those Lincoln guys who are the athletes like Hollis and Harris and Evans, and he's done a really good job, and he's a strong young man. When he carries the ball, he gets tough yardage when he does run it.
I'm telling you, Harris is very strong. He is, without a doubt. He just got to hang on the football. He fumbles the football every once in a while.
Yeah, he's put it on the ground.
Moments.
He's put it on the ground some. But I think Terrell McLean's had an excellent year, one of the most improved players playing the position he hadn't really played before, and that's quarterback. They almost beat Layden last week. Maiden had a 75-yard touchdown pass with a minute left in the game that made the difference, and they beat Lincoln 28-21. But Lincoln's defense has improved, and I'm encouraged by how well they played last week.
Yeah, I am too. And, one thing Coach Leffer told me, we were talking before we did his interview, he said, Tim, my defense has really came together toward the end of the season, and they have. He has a lot of good players on that defense that's going to be coming back next year as well, Kenny.
Well, here's the thing about high school sometimes. You go out there and you try to put a team together, and sometimes it takes you a few games to figure out what's the best role a kid can help you in. And I think as Lincoln's gone along, Lefford Gibson's figured out the better roles for these guys, and especially on the defensive side, because they've really improved.
They're flying around the football, and that's what Coach Lefford Gibson's known for. His defense, getting kids in position to make plays and stuff on defense on both sides of the ball as well. But yeah, he's got them flying around the football. He's got them believing in themselves. And I'm gonna tell you, Ken, I think this is, to me, as a head coach, his best coaching job he's done since he's been at Lincoln.
There's a lot of Lincoln fans, and I know a lot of Lincoln fans, and I'm one of them who felt like after those first 2 or 3 games this year, boys,
be a long season.
Boys, we just don't have the talent. It's going to be a long, long year.
That's why.
But Lefford Gibson didn't give up on this team.
Well, that's the thing, Ken. You just hit the nail on the head. The talent. He hasn't had the talent he's had the last few years as he's been a head coach. That's why I'm saying with the and nothing toward the kids. They're young, inexperienced. They lost 2 really good football players to go to Georgia to play football.
Besides all the
seniors they lost. So to me, I think this is one of Lefford's, and I tell him this every time I see him. I say, Lefford, this is your best coaching job. What you've done with this team. He didn't have a quarterback.
No, and like I say, I think everybody's accepted their roles. They feel more comfortable in them. And the mark of a good team is one team that continues to get better as the season goes on. And you want to be playing much better at the end of the year because that's
the mark
when
of
the
a
playoffs.
Coach too. That's the mark of a coach.
Exactly right.
And I tell you something else too, Ken, about Lefford. To me, he's got the best player in the conference, Tyshawn Harris, hands down. Best player.
I would vote for him as
Absolutely.
best player. If I had a vote, that'd be my vote.
Because of what he's got around him. Now, the second thing that I think he's got too, and I think he's got the most improved player in the conference, and that's your quarterback, McLean, who never stepped under the center to take snaps. has been the quarterback, and he's done a great job molding that young man, making him better as the season. And that's all the coaches too there at Lincoln. You give all the credit to all the coaches, but McLean is really prosper under the center this year as a quarterback when he's never played quarterback in his life.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job out there. He really is. I think he's much more comfortable about what
and
he
Chase
can
Jones
do
as well
and
too.
what he can't do. Yes, Chase Jones, East Lincoln,
yes,
another one.
No doubt. Those two players are the most improved players in the county.
I would say so. Lincoln, if they get by Graham and win that game, Tim, they're facing the winner of South Columbus and Whitmore.
That'll be a road trip for you, Ken.
It'll be a road trip for somebody because both those guys are down east, even though they're in the west. So we'll see how it turns out. But South Columbus, somebody the Lincoln played in the past in a championship game when they were in the west. So we'll see how that turns out.
It'll be interesting. All righty, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right here on the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. You're listening to WLON 1050 AM.
Hi, this is Tom Sane, West Lincoln High School football coach, and you're listening to Tim Johnson and Ken Link on the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Boger City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Coach Lubowitz, East Lincoln High School Football, and you're listening to Tim and Ken on the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show.
All righty, we're back here at WLON 1050 AM, where it's the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. Your host, Tim Johnson, and my main man, my right-hand man, we call him Mr. Baseball, Kenny Link. Kenny, West Lincoln Rebels.
Well, they have a tough assignment tonight as they are up there at Reedsville playing those defending 2A champions. And Reedsville, again, Tim, is loaded. I was looking at some of their stats. They scored over 600 points this year, and they've only given up 61. And they have blown everybody out that they've played.
Well, I tell you, West Lincoln's got a young football team. This is going to be great experience for the Rebels, for Coach Tommy Sane and these guys to go up there and to take on a real experience, a great football program like we know throughout the years. Reedsville, it's always been Reedsville, Shelby to win the state championship. Reedsville's beat Shelby, Shelby's beat Reedsville. So this is going to be an experience for these young men. This will get them ready for next year. The West Lincoln Rebels, Kenny, I'm telling you right now, have got the best duo running backs in the county, no doubt about it. Fansuk and Eichert. Both of them are First Federal Player of the Week of football awards. And also, they got a quarterback who can throw the football. And that young man we highlighted, besides Eichert up there this past Monday, Xander Pendergrass, he is an athlete.
He's only a sophomore. He's not a big kid, but he's quick, Tim. He's a player. He can make things happen. Speaking of Eichert and Fansuk, both those guys are 1,000-yard rushers. How often do you have 2 1,000-yard rushers in the same backfield?
Well,
that's what West Lincoln's had this year.
Absolutely, and I tell you, that's a credit to the offensive line. And I know Tommy Sane, and I know his football, his running backs, Brandon Eichert and Fansuk. They'll tell you, hey, those guys open the holes for us. And that's a credit to the offensive line and, and to the whole entire coaching staff there. Coach Avery, the offensive coordinator, he's been there for a good while, calling the plays and stuff for Coach Sane. Does a great job. Great job there for the West Lincoln Rebels. And I'm going to tell you something, next year might be a special year for the West Lincoln Rebels, Ken.
Well, they have the opportunity with all those guys coming back, and hopefully this experience, even going into playoffs and going to a big-time program to have to play, Reedsville will be good for them in the future.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize what kind of program West Lincoln has there. They're a middle school. They got a good middle school program. But their JV football team, I mean, they win 7-8 games a year. So Tommy's got some good football players coming back next year, as well as the young kids from the JV team moving up to the varsity. Ken, I tell you, man, they could have a special year next year. And I wish him all the luck in the world. And I tell you, you will not find a better person than Tommy Sane.
No,
you know that yourself.
We've enjoyed meeting with him, talking with him this year. Tim, the other Lincoln County team that did not make the playoffs, we'll talk a little bit about the North Lincoln Knights. North Lincoln lost another close, high-scoring game this past week, 53-50, the Bandies. Reed McCoy passed for over 300 yards, which ended up being his last game at North Lincoln. On the season, Tim, he passed for over 2,000 yards. He had a great year. Clayton Cribb had 1,120 yards rushing on the season. He rushed for 6.5 yards per attempt. He's only a junior, Tim. He's coming back. I tell you what a tough year it was for North Lincoln. When I say tough, frustrating, and they were so close in so many games. North Lincoln lost 5 games by 7 points or less. In 5 of their 9 losses, they scored 30 or more points. They lost a lot of close games, Tim, because the defense just couldn't quite make enough plays.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Ken, they're coming on.
Yeah,
they got that JV team and the middle school team, they're coming on. They got a young man in middle school, that Williams kid, he's special.
And the JV team this year finished second in the conference, Tim. They only lost to Maiden. That's the only conference game they lost. And I'm talking to my contact over there, Gene Sane. He says he's getting defensive help up from that JV team next year. That's where they have some really good defensive players with a lot of potential, is what Gene thinks.
Well, I tell you what, if they can put a defense out there, Ken, that's been a problem all year.
Yeah, they averaged. This team this year, this varsity team averaged 34 points on offense, but they allowed almost 37 points on defense. See,
absolutely.
If they can get the defense to make a few more plays,
look out.
That'd be the difference.
Look out. Absolutely. So
I mean, they lost so many close games.
And speaking like Tom saying and David Lewitz and Coach Leffler Gibson, Stephen Pack, first-class guy, Ken.
Yeah.
Great football coach. He's going to do great things at East Lincoln. At North Lincoln.
And I know they've had a frustrating season, but the people down there feel much more confident about the future down there with Steve Pack there.
Yes, good feller, good football coach. He's got great coaches around him. Of course, Edwin Ludwig's dad is coach there too, Mark Ludwig. So, listen, if they can put a defense out there, Ken, they'll be hard to beat with that offense.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens next year with that. But I'm looking forward to those JV players coming up and what they can do to help that program next year.
Absolutely. Ken, the final standings of the South Fork 2A this year: Maiden 7-0, 11-0 overall. Newton Conover 6-1, 9-2. East Lincoln 5-2, 6-5. Your Lincolnton Wolves 4-3, 5-6. Bandy's Trojans 3-4, 5-6. West Lincoln Rebels, Tommy saying the guys, 2-5, 4-7, and your North Lincoln Knights were 1-6, 2-9, and your Lake Norman Charter 0-7 and 3-8 for the whole entire year. So that's your roundup of your South Fork 2A conference this year. Congratulations to the Maiden Blue Devils for winning the conference this year. Kenny, I want to talk about our sponsors here, and of course, the one sponsor that we're so grateful to have is First Federal. Ken, what a great young man Demi Brewer is, who helped us put this thing together this year. Of course, and Miss Dybra Aker, too. She is absolutely the best, Ken, at First Federal. We want to thank them for making this possible for Lincoln County High School football and, of course, for our show. And we've already got this wrapped up for next year. We'll be back next year, Ken, doing the First Federal Lincoln County High School football show. And I know Demery will be with us, too. So, and also I want to thank House of Pizza, Ken. I'm telling you, the best place you can go in Lincoln to eat, if you like great food, great pizza, great times, the people there's first class. Mary, her husband John, they took care of every pregame meal. They're the best, Ken. House of Pizza.
The food's great, and the people service are great, and they're just friendly folks there. They make you feel like they're happy to see you when you come in, and we are happy to be there.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And Carolina Trophies.
Yeah, who provided all the beautiful plaques that we gave out this year each week for the First Federal Lincoln County High School Student Athlete Football Player of the Week Award.
And I tell you, Ken, and this couldn't be possible without Calvin Hastings. I want to thank Calvin Hastings for giving us the opportunity to come here at WLON to be a part of his radio station. Of course, Kevin Hastings, too, the sports program director here. Two fine people. I've known Calvin for years, and you could not ask for a better person to work for than Calvin Hastings, Ken. I know you feel the same way too.
Yeah, we've enjoyed working here, and Ken, Tim and I, both Lincoln County folks, and we enjoy pumping up Lincoln County sports and football, and we've really enjoyed doing that this year. And
also, Ken, want to thank our listeners, Ronnie Carpenter, Scott Cloninger. The list goes on and on and on. I mean, all the people, all the good comments we've had out of people out there talking about our show and stuff like that. We thank you. You're the reason why this is possible.
And just quickly, just for take a moment to go over all the award winners this season for the First Federal Lincoln County High School Student Athlete Football Players of the Week. And Nakathon Fansuk from West Lincoln, Christian Delaney, North Lincoln, Nathan Hoyle, West Lincoln, Tyshawn Harris, Lincoln, Terry Farrell, East Lincoln, Reed McCroy, North Lincoln, Ryan Matz, East Lincoln, Tyshawn Harris, Lincoln, Terrell McClain, Lincoln, Judd Reel, East Lincoln, Chase Jones, East Lincoln, and Brendan Eicher this past week from West Lincoln. That's all our 12 award winners.
Absolutely, Kenny. Kenny, I want to thank you for putting this together here. Ken's our program director. He's our sports editor guy. Puts all this show together. All I do, I come in here and I just run the board, put things together, and we just roll with it. Kenny, outstanding job.
Well, I enjoyed working with you, Tim, and look forward to continuing to do this.
Absolutely. Want to thank Lincoln County High School, Lincoln County High Schools, North Lincoln, East Lincoln, West Lincoln, Lincoln. Thank you for making us feel at home when we come to your stadiums. And this has been the First Federal Lincoln County High School Football Show. Hopefully we'll be back next week with another show, Ken.
I hope so, and we wish all our Lincoln County teams in the playoffs good luck, and we hope they're victorious tonight.
Congratulations, and good luck to the Lincoln County High School Football Show and to the teams.
Offside defense. Give me time. We'll hit the touchdown here. Get back here. Right, 30. Watch him right there. Right there, right there. Come on back, Pop. Come on back. River. 54. Easy. Score. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Good finish.
Campers Inn in Kings Mountain presents our second annual holiday bike drive. Camping out for kids, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Campers Inn has partnered with the Kings Mountain Police Department to collect new bikes for the children in our community. They are hoping to collect from 150 to 200 new bikes, from toddlers to teens, and they do all the work. Just bring your unassembled bike and they'll put it together for you. You can help make Christmas brighter for a child this year. Plan now to participate in the second annual Camping Out for Kids Holiday Bike Drive, December 8th, 9th, and 10th at Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Ram Power Days. They're underway at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lincoln. Get $1,000 Power Days bonus cash on select 2017 models. Now get up to $11,971 in total value on the new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models. Or get 0% APR for 72 months on the new Ram 2017 1500 models. Come in now for all the details and save big during Ram Power Days. Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln.
Welcome in live here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. We're on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School. I'm not Ken Johnson. I'm not Jason Sain. I'm Carson Dockery, joined along here with Ken Link. Ken, thanks for having me, man.
Man, glad to have with you tonight. We're going to be down here at Mount Pleasant to give you this East Lincoln Mount Pleasant game, and great to be working with Carson for the first time, and we're expecting a close game down here.
Yeah, I think so. It's a 13-4 matchup here between the 5-2 or the 6-5, 5-2 in conference East Lincoln Chargers, or not the Chargers. I'm thinking Crest. East Lincoln Mustangs and the 9-2 undefeated in the Rocky River 2A conference, 5-0 Mount Pleasant Tigers. And Ken, I'll be honest, this is my first football game of the year. I've been back in the studio with Shannon Allen and Terry Reinhardt on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show, so I'm going to defer to you. You're the head man here on the LincolnCounty.com game. Tell me what the East Lincoln Mustangs need to do to come out with a win tonight.
Well, here on this First Federal Stadium pregame show, talk about the East Lincoln Mustangs. What they've got to really do, in a nutshell, is put 4 quarters together. We've seen them play great defense early in the year. We've seen them play some good offense later on in the year, but they've had some big highs, but they haven't put it together in 4 quarters. They've got behind in some highs here later in the year. It made some furious, outstanding quarterbacks to come back and win. but they can't afford to do that tonight against this good Mount Pleasant team that's only giving up about 10 points a game. If they get a couple scores down in the first half, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back.
Yeah, I think East Lincoln, they're not going to be really intimidated by a good team, a 9-2, as I mentioned, 5-0 Mount Pleasant Tiger team. They lost last week to Newton Conover 39-21. Newton Conover, the second team in that South Fork 2A conference, and I think East Lincoln, when you talk about East Lincoln on offense, you got to talk about the Joneses, Chandler and Chase, and what do you think they have to do tonight?
Well, Chandler Jones has been their leading rusher all year. He's over 1,000-yard rusher this year for the Mustangs, and he's going to get most of the carries on the ground. Chase Jones is a young man who is a junior. He started out this year as his first experience in varsity level as a quarterback, and really had some problems early on, struggled a lot, that they stuck with him. He started improving not only in his play on the field, but his leadership. And as the season went on, that passing game picked up for the Mustangs. And as a result, they started scoring some more points, and he started gaining some more confidence. And he's really played well down toward the end of the season. He lost his leading receiver about 3 or 4 games ago, Christian Parks. Unfortunately, suffered a broken leg. I understand it was a injury he had similarly about a year ago, and he broke it in the same place. So they're missing him, but they brought up some guys from the JVs who have played well. So the passing game, I think, is going to be key here. I look for Mount Pleasant to be key in on the running game and try to stop that first and make them pass and see if the Mustangs can actually move the ball and score through the air.
Yeah, you talk about those primary targets for Chase Jones. It's Taven Johnson, McKeevy Finks, Terry Farrell, and Lucas McConnell. And talked about Lucas McConnell before we got on the air that he missed last week with a concussion, should be able to play tonight. But I think really this East Lincoln team, they've been pretty resilient. First-year coach, first-year quarterback. You lose Sidney Dollar before the season even starts. And I think just for them to, and I mean, on top of all that, you go 0-3 to start the season. And early in the year, it was, you were leaning on the defense to keep you in games, and that offense really couldn't come up. And now as the season's progressed, you see sort of it flip. The defense is sort of, in the first half of games, they've struggled. They've caused that offense to have to come back in second halves and put a lot of points on the board. And I think, if they're going to have a chance tonight to beat Mount Pleasant, I think you're going to have to see big nights from Ryan Matz, maybe Judd Reel. It's going to take a total team effort on defense to stop this very potent Mount Pleasant rushing attack.
Yes, and you mentioned Ryan Matz and Judd Reel. Those two guys have really been playing well all year long, really.
Yeah.
But Matt's a young man that's already committed to go to West Point, and he's an outstanding young man and is leader of their defense, number 88. And Judd Reel has really come on strong at the linebacker position, number 3 on the field, and he's played well. I look for that defense to have to really slow down the Mount Pleasant offense to have a chance to win. I don't see this game as being one of those really high-scoring games.
Yeah.
I think it will be maybe in the 20 or below, maybe 20-17 or something like that. I'm expecting a close game. I don't think it's going to be one team blowing out the other. I don't think that's going to happen here tonight.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good matchup between a 13 and a 4. Normally in this first round, your best games on paper, they're between the 8 and 9 seed. Speaking of 8 and 9 seeds, let's get into some other games real quick. Shelby, an 8 seed, which is almost unheard of, it seems like, over the past 4 or 5 years. And Newton Conover got the unlucky draw to take on the Golden Lions. And what are you looking at in that other matchup with a Lincoln County team?
Well, Lincolnton is playing up at Graham, and we have West Lincoln, unfortunately, is playing the top seed in the 2A, and that's Reedsville. So they got obviously a monumental challenge on their part.
Yeah.
But Lincolnton, that was an interesting draw. Lincolnton, a 5 and 6 team, goes on the road to play Graham, who finished second in that conference that Reedsville won. They were 2 and 2 in the conference, but their overall record is only 3 and 8. So Lincolnton, I think, should be and is favored to win this game up there.
Yeah, I think and we've talked about this before we got on the air. Since, there's a new playoff format this year, Max Prep's coming into the fold, there's a lot of confusion as to what exactly, a good loss versus a good win, all those sort of things that we just don't know. And all we could do is really speculate. I mean, you've got a 1-10, 1-9, 1-11 team up in South Caldwell that made it in the 4A, but there's a team over in the eastern part of the state in Wilmington that goes 8-3 and is not able to make the playoffs. I think, this first year there's going to be a lot of feeling out. You got to figure out, what you need to do to get in, how many wins it really takes, and it used to be, you get 3 or 4 wins, you're in. Now, obviously, you can have 1 win and make it into the playoffs.
Yes, and I know they're trying to scientifically figure out what's the best way to evaluate all this information, whether it be good wins, good losses, whatever. But in any kind of system where you're trying to rate teams and then make decisions off of that, you got to sprinkle in a little bit of common sense. And, as you said, this first year there's probably going to be some things that look a little strange. I look for them to improve the process as we go forward next year. One of the things you mentioned was Newton Conover having to play Shelby at Shelby tonight, and Newton Conover, who many felt was the best team in the South Fork 2A conference. Now they did not win it; they lost to Maiden.
Yeah.
But seeing them play between the two, I'd say Newton Conover's got the better team. But they got a tough opponent to try to go to Shelby and try to win. So I wouldn't pick them to be able to go in there and beat Shelby at all. Maiden in their game, they're playing Fred T. Ford, a team they defeated earlier in the season. I think it's first game of the season, and I think Maiden will win that game. But thing about Maiden, this East Lincoln team took them to double overtime before they lost, and it was controversy at the end. And Lincoln played Maiden a tough game last night, leading for about 3 quarters before they lost by a touchdown with about a minute left. Maiden hit on a long pass. So Maiden hasn't just looked like the strongest team when they played really other good teams. So we'll see how far they can go.
I think you're exactly right. They're an undefeated team who it sort of doesn't feel like they're undefeated almost, and I think it'll be interesting just to see how deep Maiden can go in the playoffs. Now we'll turn to a little bit of Gaston and Cleveland County. Hunter Huss, they'll be hosting West Rowan tonight. I think another good matchup. This is sort of out of the way, but Weddington taking on Hickory. And I've seen Hickory come back from down 19-0 to defeat Hunter Huss. Weddington, they lost early in the year to, was it Crest?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah. And Crest, they're going to be playing Monroe tonight. Monroe's sort of a down year for them as, they're sort of used to going until after Thanksgiving the past couple years. And I think Crest, that'll be a good 6-11 matchup. And then we go into 3A, and Ashbrook making a long trip up to Mount Tabor, the Green Wave, the 16 seed taking on the number 1 seed, Mount Tabor. And Ashbrook, they've it's an in-between year. Brian Andrews coming in with Coach Devine, a couple South Point guys trying to sort of put their thumbprint on that team, and British Brooks has really been sort of the straw that stirs the drink, if I can quote Reggie Jackson. But I think Ashbrook, this might be it for them. Some other games of interest, as you talked about. Graham and Lincolnton, we talked about that just a minute ago, but I think Tyshawn Harris, he gets going. It'll be tough whether they come out and try to spread it out or try to run the big bone. They've got options, that Lincolnton team does. And let's get back into this game. So Mount Pleasant coming into this one with a 5-game winning streak. They're averaging over 36 points per game on offense, only allowing 10.1 points per game on defense. Passing attack really isn't their forte, only passing for 138 yards. They get their they sort of make their money on the ground game, averaging over 200 yards. And the 3 big guys, when you talk about Mount Pleasant, it's going to be quarterback Chance DeCuro, running back Garrett Overbay, and wide receiver Landon Parker.
Yeah, those 3 guys, if you look at the statistics for this year, they have dominated the total yards, those 3 guys. And DeQuilla is the quarterback. He's thrown for 16 touchdowns and over 1,500 yards. Only 5 interceptions. Overbay is the running back that they'll feature most of the time going up and down the field. He's rushed for over 1,100 yards, 6.7 yards per attempt. But I understand they have a linebacker named Honeycutt who will come in when they get in goal line situations, and he'll be the one who will be scoring a lot of touchdowns, banging that thing in from a short yardage. So they use him in that way. The receiver that's dominated the yards and touchdowns, and it's caught most of those 16 touchdown passes, is Landon Parker. He is averaging He has over 1,000 receiving yards on 42 receptions for an average of 24 yards a catch and 13 touchdowns. So when they do throw it, they'll be throwing it to Landon Parker.
All right, so that'll take us to our first commercial break here on the First Federal Savings Bank pregame show. We'll be right back here from Mount Pleasant in just a little bit.
It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. Campers Inn in Kings Mountain presents our second annual holiday bike drive. Camping out for kids December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Campers Inn has partnered with the Kings Mountain Police Department to collect new bikes for the children in our community. They are hoping to collect from 150 to 200 new bikes, from toddlers to teens, and they do all the work. Just bring your unassembled bike and they'll put it together for you. You can help make Christmas brighter for a child this year. Plan now to participate in the second annual Camping Out for Kids Holiday Bike Drive, December 8th, 9th, and 10th at Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. It's the grand opening of the new Ronaldo Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Ronaldo Honda, located at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look. CKDKDS Macron. Oh, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
I said where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken where I come from.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.
Welcome back here on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School in Mount Pleasant in Cabarrus County, North Carolina. I'm Carson Dockery, joined alongside Ken Link. You are inside the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard here on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week. It's the first round of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association football playoffs, and the East Lincoln Mustangs here are the 13 seed at 6-5, 5-2 in conference, taking on the 9-2, 5-0 in conference Mount Pleasant Tigers. And before we get back into things, let's go ahead and get our classic Ford of Shelby player to watch from both clubs. And who's that going to be, Ken?
For the Mount Pleasant Tigers, I'm gonna pick their running back, fine running back, Garrett Overbay. He's going to be carrying the mail on that rushing attack, and he'll be a key in the game as far as them maintaining possession and eating up clock and keeping East Lincoln off the field and scoring. So that'll be the classic Ford of Shelby player to watch from Mount Pleasant for East Lincoln Mustangs, I'm going to pick somebody on the defensive side. I'm going to pick Ryan Matz, the fine defensive end who's played excellent all year. The West Point committee that he's going to be going to play there next year, Division I. That's who I'll pick as the Mustangs Classic Forward in Lincoln of Shelby player to watch.
All right, now I'll just give you a quick rundown of all the games that are going to be taking place tonight. First things first will be Ashbrook Green Wave making the trip up to Mount Tabor to take on the Mount Tabor Spartans. The West Iredell Warriors will make the trip down to Belmont to take on the South Point Red Raiders. The Monroe Red Hawks will make the trip over to Cleveland County and Boiling Springs to take on the Crest Chargers. Forest View Jaguars taking on the Kings Mountain Mountaineers in a Big South 3A rematch. For the Hunter House Huskies, they will be hosting the West Rowan Falcons tonight off of Edgefield Avenue. The Concord Spiders making the trip to Cramerton to take on the Stuart Cramer Storm. And, there we go. The West Lincoln Rebels, as you talked about, making the trip to Reedsville to take on the Rams. The Lincolnton Wolves will be making the trip to Graham to take on the Red Devils. The Cherryville Ironmen making the trip up into the mountains to take on the Swain County Maroon Devils. And the Newton Conover Red Devils will make the trip to Shelby to take on the Golden Lions. The Golden Lions, the four-time defending 2A state champion, and sort of a new ingredient into the fold now is the fact that South Point has moved down from 3A. They are the defending 3A state champion down into 2A. And not only are Shelby and South Point both in 2A, but they're both in the big 2A, 2AA. And so at some point, as long as these two teams don't lose tonight, I believe they play next week.
Unfortunately, the point is early in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And,
you want to see this, maybe after Thanksgiving or something.
And that's we talked about the system and the process. Wow, they could have matched them up a little bit later, I believe.
I think so too.
Obviously, they're going to have to eventually meet, being they're both in the West and in the two large 2A bracket. But them meeting in second round seems a little bit strange.
I think you're exactly right. So now National Anthem is just on the way. We'll take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Monday, the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki Sub. Tuesday, the Oven Roasted Chicken Sub. Wednesday, the Turkey Breast Sub. Thursday, the Italian BMT Sub. Friday, the Tuna Sub. Saturday, the Black Forest Ham Sub. And Sunday, the Meatball Marinara Sub. Your choice, just $3.50. The Sub of the Day from Subway in Boulder City and the Walmart in Lincolnton.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincolnton. No matter where you live, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincolnton can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincolnton. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city.
Drew, this new city just makes me miss home, man.
Go get a sweet tea from McDonald's. They make it fresh, sweet, and it's icy cold, just like your mom's.
But I miss home.
Oh, so you miss your mom telling you to make sure your room's clean? Or
close the fridge, Ryan, and stop letting all the cool air out. Or turn them lights off, Ryan.
All right, got it. The sweet tea is just right. But you know I'm going to tell my mom you got jokes.
No, don't.
This is no joke. Stop by McDonald's and get a large sweet tea for just $1 all summer long. Large sweet tea, just $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
Having trouble finding a car or truck at a price you can afford? Your troubles are over when you stop in at Milholland Automotive in Lincoln. At Milholland Automotive in Lincoln, they make buying a pre-owned vehicle easy. No credit, no money to put down. Milholland Automotive has the banks to get you approved. Come see the selection today at Milholland Automotive, 423 West Main Street in Lincoln. Visit the website at millhollandautomotive.com for a complete list of inventory, or give them a call at 704-736-1000. That's Millholland Automotive in Lincoln.
'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city.
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. I'm Carson Dockery, joined alongside Ken Link for a first-round playoff matchup between the East Lincoln Mustangs and the Mount Pleasant Tigers. We're wrapping up First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard here on the LincolnCounty.com game of the week. And Ken, you got any final thoughts before we get underway?
Well, the key to this game is for East Lincoln to stay close to the first half. If they can do that, we've seen that they really make some good adjustments, play good in the second half. But if they get down a couple of touchdowns, it's going to be tough for them to come back. So I think the key to this game is how well this East Lincoln defense can play, especially in the first half.
And I think it'll be interesting to see because, as you mentioned, this Mount Pleasant offense is really paced by the running game, by Garrett Overbay, and that front seven is really going to be tested by East Lincoln. You're talking about Ryan Metz, you're talking about Judd Rill, you're talking about these guys are going to have to play up, they're going to have to get physical, and I think if they want to stop Garrett Overbay, if they want to stop DeKilo, and I think you can't overlook Landon Parker, as you talked about those big numbers for the wide receiver. I think they've got to play tough, but they can't get emotional, they can't lose themselves in the moment. And I think East Lincoln's got a shot, but I think Mount Pleasant is certainly the favorite here as they're hosting, and they've got the numbers to back it up.
Yes, and they come in as a good team. They play some good teams in Cabarrus County, so they don't. Their record is not one that they've put together against a weak schedule.
Yeah.
But East Lincoln's played some very good teams and played well against some very good teams. So it's going to be interesting to see who'll get the advantage out of the gate here. As I said, I think it's really important for East Lincoln to stay close in this first half, and then I think they've got a real shot.
All right, so both teams just about ready to take the field. We'll take one more commercial break, and that'll wrap up the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Pre-game, or not the scoreboard, but the pregame show. They're also the scoreboard sponsor, so don't forget about First Federal Savings Bank. And we'll be right back here from Mount Pleasant.
The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details, and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn in Kings Mountain presents our second annual holiday bike drive. Camping out for kids, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Campers Inn has partnered with the Kings Mountain Police Department to collect new bikes for the children in our community. They are hoping to collect from 150 to 200 new bikes, from toddlers to teens, and they do all the work. Just bring your unassembled bike and they'll put it together for you. You can help make Christmas brighter for a child this year. Plan now to participate in the second annual Camping Out for Kids Holiday Bike Drive, December 8th, 9th, and 10th at Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Celebrating 50 years. It's the Glen Oaks Golf Club. Hard to think how many birdies have been made over those years, and oh yeah, how many double bogeys too. Whether it's a birdie, par, or bogey, you'll love the Glen Oaks Golf Club. It's open to everyone. Visit the beautiful pro shop with driving range, snack bar, banquet facility, bar, picnic, shelter, and swimming pool. Great for group outings. Reserve your tee time by calling 828-428-2451 or visit the website at glenoaksgolf.com.
There's a storm coming. We may not know its path, but your independent auto owner's insurance agent knows no matter what happens, we'll be there when you need us most. Strong through every storm. That's how it's been for our first 100 years, and how it will be for generations to come.
Your local auto owner's insurance agency is East Lincoln Insurance Agency on Highway 16 in Denver. Call 704-483-3243.
Welcome back once again here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. East Lincoln has won the toss. They'll defer. That means Mount Pleasant will start with the ball, and we're just about set to get things going here on the Ronaldo Auto Mall, LincolnCounty.com game of the week.
Yeah, we're waiting for the two teams to run through the banners out on the field. The toss has already happened, and you said East Lincoln won and deferred their choice, so they'll be kicking off to Mount Pleasant.
Not too much wind here tonight, so I don't think that'll really play a factor in any sort of special teams. But as you mentioned, both teams just about ready to get going, run through those banners, and East Lincoln should be first.
And it feels like football weather here.
It does finally.
It's cold out here.
Seems like it finally got cold.
A little cool in the booth here, but it feels good. So it's football weather. There's no doubt about that.
Mount Pleasant will walk onto the field through that banner, and now they'll get going.
And here come the East Lincoln Mustangs as they come sprinting out on the field through the banner. And we're about ready to get this thing underway here in just a minute or so.
Yeah, so we'll get going here in just a few. It's first round of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association football playoffs. Once again, it's the 13 seed East Lincoln Mustangs taking on the number 4 seed Mount Pleasant Tigers.
And we see some more fans trickling in over there on the East Lincoln side. Look like they've got 100 or so over there. And as I said, there's some more coming in. So we may have a fairly good East Lincoln crowd before this thing gets going here in a few minutes.
Yeah, not too long of a drive really from Denver here to Mount Pleasant.
No, it's probably less than an hour from down there. So it's like you say, it's a pretty pleasant drive. So here both teams are taking the field. Mount Pleasant getting back in the receiving formation, and Ryan Shanklin, the kicker for East Lincoln, will be kicking off here. Shanklin's an excellent kicker. He's kicked a good many into the end zone where they was not returnable this year. We'll see what he does here as he's lining it up.
Bryce Curry, number 12, and number 23, Landon Parker, back deep to receive for the Mount Pleasant Tigers. And Parker is that star wide receiver.
Yes, and he's looks like a big playmaker, and he's a good-sized kid too. It looks like Carson.
Yeah.
So probably a dangerous guy.
Yeah, listed at 6'2", 185 back there. That's not normally the size you see of a special teams returner. So East Lincoln.
He's standing about the 15-yard line.
He's up awful far.
I believe Shanklin's going to kick it further than that if he's like he normally does.
Everybody ready on both sides. Shanklin taking his time, and
they're getting ready for the official to blow the whistle, and here he goes.
And we are underway from Mount Pleasant as Shanklin and Parker will receive that on about the 11-yard line. He'll take it up above the 20 to the 30, 35, and he will be run out of bounds on the right about the 44, 45. Good return right there for Parker.
He carried a few guys, a few more yards. It's going to be marked. Well, we're trying to see here where they're going to mark it.
Well, maybe not out that far, yeah.
Evidently, he went out, well, went out a little sooner than we thought.
There we go. Right about the 39 is where Mount Pleasant will start their first drive. 11:52 to go in this first quarter of play.
And so we're waiting to see Mount Pleasant, if they're going to employ this rushing attack we used to see.
Garrett Overbay, the man in the backfield, one back there, single back set, 2 wide receivers out wide. Under center is DeQuilla. He'll hand it off to Overbay. He'll run right, tries to find the corner, but nothing doing. Swarmed over there on the right side by that East Lincoln defense.
Looked like maybe a gain of a yard.
Yeah, that's if you're being generous. So second down, now 9 yards to go for the not the East Lincoln, but for Mount Pleasant. A little bit of smoke left over from some pyrotechnics before the game started.
Yeah, it's over the field. We can see well enough, but
it's moving its way along.
That won't be a problem unless somebody throws a long, high pass. I don't believe that's going to happen.
Another single back set here. Overbay in the backfield. DeQuilla under center. He will play action, fake, look left, throw left, a deep pass. There's Parker.
Oh, man,
that's an obvious pass interference call right there. That'll go on number 9, Gabe Duncan. And honestly, Duncan, I think if he lets that go, I think that ball is it's overthrown.
It's a little overthrown.
Yeah, I think Parker really doesn't have a chance. But then you put the official. He's got to make that call right there.
Oh,
Duncan
yeah,
basically tackled.
He's tackled him well before the ball got close to him, and that'll be a penalty and give the Mount Pleasant a first down. That's a Alain Kubota first down.
And so there's the call, pass interference on the defense. As you mentioned, That will be an Al Lanes Kubota first down. And a first down there it is. I believe that's a 15-yarder in high school. Yeah, that's exactly right. So now Mount Pleasant into East Lincoln territory. They're on the Mustang 45-yard line, and they'll line up again now on first down.
They didn't wait too long to throw that ball and test out that secondary.
They didn't. So now looking like two wide receivers set both to the left here as they're on the far right hash mark from us. Another single back set with Overbay in the backfield. DeQuilo under center once again. And it'll be a handoff up the middle, and that'll be, I believe that's number 9 for Mount Pleasant. That'll be Cody Thomas on the carry. He picks up a good chunk of yards, 6 or 7 right there.
Yeah, that's a good gain on that.
And that's sort of what we talked about. We had some sort of local Mount Pleasant experts say that they're against Maiden last year, they averaged about 10 yards a carry in the playoffs. Right now, that offense clicking so far, just a couple run plays, but that one right there goes for about 7. It's 2nd and 3. Parker will line up wide once again to his left. 2 receivers both on the left. Single backfield again. DeQuilo under center. He will drop back to pass, look left, throw left, and that's Parker, an easy catch. Good move. And he's down to the 20, and he'll be brought down from behind by number 40. That's Daniel Herring. That's an Al Lanes Kubota. First down, second one of the drive for the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
And he broke about 3 tackles on that play. So that's about a 21-yard gain on that pass play.
Good pass play right there from Mount Pleasant. Wasn't even a play action. I think that's what we both thought what was going to happen really on any passing attempt. It was going to come off play action, but not so far. DeQuilo once again in a single back formation. Now in the backfield, though, is not Jordan Baxley, but Landon Honeycutt. He'll hand it off to Honeycutt to the left side. He'll get a couple yards, then he'll be quickly wrapped up. A rugby scrum out there right on about the 15-yard line. That'll bring up about 2nd and about 6.
Good gain by Honeycutt, the big linebacker who they say when they get down in the red zone close to the end scoring, they bring him in to help out that rushing attack.
So an early timeout right there, an injury timeout for the East Lincoln Chargers. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back here on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week.
It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event.
Welcome back to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. Gabe Duncan, the injured Mustang on that one, but he'll make it to the sideline under his own power. And that'll once again bring up 2nd and 7, Mount Pleasant on the East Lincoln 15-yard line. Just approaching 9 minutes to go in this first quarter of play.
And so far, Mount Pleasant has had 3 different ball carriers carry that ball.
This will be Overbay this time. He'll take a handoff, run right, and he's running right into that front 7 of the East Lincoln Mustangs. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard if they're being generous. That'll bring up now 3rd and 7.
That was number 92 for the Mustangs. That's a big number. Chase Williams, 5'11", 245. You had him in his grasp as soon as he approached the line of scrimmage.
Good job of Williams right there, not letting Overbay break the tackle and get for more, and now that'll bring up a big 3rd down play right here for Mount Pleasant. You think they run or they go play action?
I think they're going to throw it. They look like they had success on the play they did and got a penalty on the other, so I'm thinking they throw it here.
Honeycutt, the man in the backfield, DeQuilo under center. He'll take the snap and hand it off the right side. Honeycutt, he'll break an arm tackle, but that will not be enough for a first down. It appears he gets right to about the 10-yard line, about a yard and a half too short, and that'll bring up 4th down. It's decision time early here for the Tigers. Let's see if they've got a kicker that they've got some faith in, and it looks like they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, early in the game, I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah.
Look like it's going to be 4th and what is it, about 3 it looks like? 2.
Yeah, a long 2. 4th and 2, just under 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Big 4th down early for Mount Pleasant. D'Aquila under center. Trying to get a man in motion there. He'll go. Honeycutt in the backfield. D'Aquila under center.
We got movement.
Movement, but
see who is.
Yeah, who's it on? It's going to be false start on the Tigers. That'll push them back 5 yards. And what was once 4th and 2 is now 4th and 7, and that'll change the decision making.
Yeah, the play call will probably be different. Let's see if they. We'll see if they're going to. Well, they look like they may be going to kick the tie field goal here.
Yeah, it looks like that is exactly what's going to happen. Not sure exactly who the kicker is for Mount Pleasant.
Oh, they're not. They're going to.
Oh, yes.
Wide open.
Yeah, 4 wide receivers spread, 1 back in the backfield. D'Aquila gets the shotgun snap. He'll look left, throw left, and that one's caught. Should be a first down. That reception being made right there by Bryce Curry, number 12, as an Al Lanes Kubota. First down, and they're inside the 10, or the Mount Pleasant Tigers, I should say.
They flooded with wide receivers, and
can't imagine that's a look that you see too often on film for the Tigers. So now 1st and goal. Look like it's right on about the 5-yard line for the Tigers, and
yeah, it's a 10-yard gain for the first down there.
Big pickup right there. Big first down for the Tigers as they'll line up. D'Aquila going back under center. Honeycutt, the single back in the backfield. He's joined by Hayden Radford. He's off left to D'Aquila, and 1 receiver to the right. That's Landon Parker. Man in motion. D'Aquila now he'll hand off to the left side. That's Honeycutt. He's running through a big pile, still churning those legs, and he will be close short. Wow.
Close to the goal line.
That's got to be on about the foot-yard line, it seems like. So that'll be 2nd and goal now for the Tigers. Good run right there for Honeycutt. Kept those legs churning.
He's a load when he gets it. And there it's marked right around the 1, maybe right after 1.
Yeah, nose of the ball right on that left hash mark of the 1-yard line. Big set here. No wide receivers out wide for the Tigers. Honeycutt the single back once again, and now it'll be a quarterback sneak. D'Aquila pushed back initially, but he'll be in there for the score.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Mount Pleasant Tigers, 6-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. The Tigers get the first lead of the ball game over the East Lincoln Mustangs. That is D'Aquila, the quarterback.
So he marched right down the field, Carson, for the touchdown.
6-0 the score, pending the extra point. And in to make the attempt for the Tigers, that's number 88. That's AD. 80. All right, Evan DeVito. And the kick is up, and
good.
It is good. 7-0 our score here on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Mount Pleasant Tigers on top of the East Lincoln Mustangs. We'll be right back on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Bossier City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. The Black Friday sales event is underway at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Lincoln. Coming out for huge savings like the 2017 Dodge Charger. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus up to $1,000 Chrysler Capital Bonus Cash. And the new 2017 Dodge...
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. The Mount Pleasant Tigers with an early 7-0 lead over the East Lincoln Mustangs, thanks to a 1-yard rushing touchdown from quarterback Chance D'Aquila. Tigers are lining it up, and they'll kick it away. A short squib kick, and
taken by number 28.
They'll field it right around the 38-yard line, and he'll be stopped right at the 35, and that's where East Lincoln will start on their first offensive possession of the night.
That was Alex Biega on the recovery there, and so pretty good field position for the Mustangs on the 37-yard line as they try to answer this Silver Point Holmes touchdown that Mountain Pleasant put on the board with their initial drive.
Chase Jones in shotgun, a couple wide receivers, 3 to be exact, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. First snap, and it'll be a sort of a reverse to number 5, and that is Taven Johnson on the carry. Looks like he'll pick up a couple yards on the first down run. And he'll set up a 2nd and 8 now for the Mustangs.
Short gain on the play here.
A little bit of misdirection to start this one.
Yeah, it was.
Brought Johnson around on a little bit of an end around, but it ended up going in between the tackles, and now Chase Jones once again in the shotgun pistol formation. And this time he'll toss it to Johnson. And it's going to be a pass. He loads up, slings it with the lefty, and in and out of the hands of number 24. That's Lucas McConnell.
Lucas McConnell.
Just about had a big play and a big first down right there for East Lincoln, bouncing off the fingertips of McConnell.
Yeah, the defender cut right in front of McConnell.
He did.
It just, I don't know whether he got a fingertip on it or not. Didn't look like it. He just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Yeah, it's tough to keep your concentration when you hear those footsteps coming when you're a wide receiver out there on the side. So East Lincoln will come out now. A 4 wide receiver set, 1 to the left, 3 to the right. Trips on the right, 1 back in the backfield. Chase Jones, shotgun formation. He'll take the shotgun snap, look left. He'll scramble, get out of the pocket. Now he'll run it. 45, and he'll slide.
Oh, I think he's short.
That's awfully close, yeah. He looks like he'll be a couple yards short, and that'll set up big decision for Coach Lubowitz right here early.
That's a situation where if he hadn't slid and we tried to, take another step, he would probably had that first down.
Yeah, and that's sort of what you teach these quarterbacks now is if you see contact come and slide, lay down, and right there, that's really awfully close to a targeting play, really. Well, maybe not targeting, but you see that flagged a lot of times when the quarterback's sliding and he takes contact like that. But the Mustangs will like to punt on their first drive. Good snap. Good punt. Well, not a great punt, but he'll get into
out of bounds.
Takes a good East Lincoln roll.
And it's down around the 20-yard
right about the 20-yard line. So
good punt.
About a 30-yard, well, more than 30, about a 40-yard punt there for East Lincoln, and Mount Pleasant will take over after forcing a 3-and-out on the Mustangs. 7-0 our score here. Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln. 4:44 left in the first quarter of this first round football playoff matchup.
And this will be the second possession from Mount Pleasant. East Lincoln Mustangs couldn't stop them on the first possession as they used the passing game.
Yeah,
pretty effectively, real effective against the Mustangs.
And that's something we really didn't anticipate coming into this one. 2 receivers, both of them to the left for DeQuilla. That's Landon Parker out wide and Overbay in the backfield. DeQuilla under center. He will turn around and hand it off to Overbay. Makes a good move. He'll break a tackle and take it out to the, looks like the 42-yard line. A big Al Lanes Kubota first down right there for the Mount Pleasant Tigers. Garrett Overbay, a big carry.
Big 21-yard gain for Overbay. It is marked on the 41.
Mount Pleasant really working, looking to get in East Lincoln territory once again. It's 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. 2 wide receivers, 1 on either side. Garrett Overbay, single back in the backfield. DeQuilla under center. First down play, it'll be a play action. Looking left, throwing left is DeQuilla, and that's completed to Parker. And that'll be about a 5, maybe 6-yard completion right there on first down. That'll bring up 2nd and about 5. So good first down play call right there as we've seen them really go to that offensive, the aerial attack early.
Yes, they've put the ball in the air 4 times.
Already.
3 for 3 on completion. The other was a penalty in pass interference, so they've been successful putting the ball in the air.
Exactly right. So now.
That's another Al Lane Kubota first down.
Exactly.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's a gain of 6.
So that'll bring up now 2nd and 6. You're exactly right. 2 receivers, both to the right, 1 back in the backfield. DeQuilla under center. He'll hand off to Overbay. He'll take it left. Good patient running, and he'll pick up 3, maybe 4. Yeah.
Fighting for yardage.
Yeah, a lot of really just carnage out there on the field here early. It's football weather, and these guys, they're playing tough. So that'll bring up now a 3rd and short, about a 3rd and 2.
And it's been a balanced attack so far for Mount Pleasant. I look for them to keep it on the ground here on 3rd and 2.
We talked about it earlier. A 2-score lead for Mount Pleasant could feel like more, maybe 4 or 5. And East Lincoln's in danger of getting down early, and that's something that they've almost been used to here in the past couple weeks. 2 receivers out to the right as DeQuila will get the first down on the quarterback sneak. He'll get it into East Lincoln territory for an Al Lanes Kubota first down. He goes down on the Mustang 44-yard line.
So Chase, Chance DeQuilla on the keeper there. Good gain on the play.
He's been efficient when they've called his number, getting the touchdown on a 1-yard run and right there picking up the first down on about a 4 or 5-yard carry on 3rd and short. That'll bring up 1st and 10. 2 receivers out wide to the right, 1 single back in the backfield. DeQuilla under center. He'll hand off to the left. It's Overbay. He'll bounce to the left, and he finds the corner, and he'll get brought down, dragged down right there by number 49 for East Lincoln.
Looked like a gain of about 8 on the play.
Trevor Philo on the tackle. Good run right there by Overbay, and that's something that we expected coming into this one. Good first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and about 2.
So far, Carson, this East Lincoln Mustang defense hasn't been able to figure out how to stop Mount Pleasant.
That's what we talked about earlier. The offense sort of picking up where the defense sort of left off early in the season, but neither one really doing much so far. 2nd and short, play action. DeQuilla looks right, and he will be sacked. Brought down by Ryan Matz, as well as number 54. That's Gage Wellborn.
Ryan Matz, one of the players to watch we picked early in the game. Young man who's the leader of this defense.
Big loss.
East Lincoln needed a big play, and they got one there. They pretty much lost those 8 yards. They gained no first down.
Big sack right there by Matz and Wellborn. That'll push it now back to what was 2nd and 2, now all the way to 3rd and 10. Mount Pleasant, they'll come out in a shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 back in the backfield with DeQuilla. It's Overbay. Shotgun snap, looking right, throwing wide, and he's got a man wide open, and he'll be down.
But he catches it on the knee.
He catches it on the knee right at about the 40-yard line, and that's about a 4-yard gain, so that'll bring up 4th and 6. And it looks like the punter will come on here for the Tigers. That's number 30. That's Grayson Honeycutt. Nope. Grayson Honeycutt's not the punter. I apologize. That's Landon Parker doing the punting duties.
Who obviously he's a dangerous guy.
Yeah,
punting. So you
got to watch for the fake punt. Yeah, Gabe Duncan back deep for the Mustangs,
and he's going to kick it.
Good spiraling kick, and it'll drop. Take an East Lincoln bounce, and it'll be down right at about the Mustang 18-yard line.
So that's a big stop for East Lincoln. It looks like Mount Pleasant had another good drive going. That big sack by Ryan Matz put them back, and they was able to get a stop. Now East Lincoln needs to get moving and try to get some points on the board.
1:06 left in this first quarter of play. Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln 7-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. East Lincoln will start this drive on their own 18-yard line. 4 receivers, 2 on either side, 1 back in the backfield. Jones looks left. Now he'll look right. And scrambling. He'll make 1 defender miss, and takes a big lick right there. Looks like he'll pick up a couple yards on first down. That'll bring up 2nd and about 8. Good patience right there for Chase Jones not to overthink it and maybe try to make a play happen that wasn't there. Instead, he'll take it himself, pick up what ends up being about 3 yards. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Didn't look like he could find anybody downfield. That was a passing play that he had to scramble to make some yardage. So here it is, 2nd and 7.
Trips to the left, and it'll be handed off to Chandler Jones. Chandler will pick up a couple yards on 2nd down. Should bring up about a 3rd and 5, and that could be the last play of the first quarter.
About 8 seconds. Well, it looked like they're going to stop the clock with about 9 seconds left. I think.
Look like we've got a lineman down for the Mustangs. We'll take a timeout. Be right back here on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week. It's Mount Pleasant 7, East Lincoln 0. We'll be right back.
Doctor, what's what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience.
Yeah, that'll win the quarter. So just in time to come back. That'll win the first quarter of play. It's 7-0 Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln. We'll be right back here on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week.
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. It's time to call your order in for your special event. Call the Chuck Wagon Grill for any occasion. They'll cater to your every need. They'll even bring it to your doorstep. And be sure to check out their prime rib. It's absolutely out of this world good. The Chuck Wagon Grill is open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with some great daily lunch and dinner specials. Be sure to check out their homemade soup on these cool days. For your catering order, call 704-732-4777.
Sean Harris runs point punt back 7-0 Lincoln.
7-0 Lincolnton on top. Who's Lincoln playing tonight, Ken?
Graham,
you're exactly right. We talked about that in the pregame. Shelby up big early 21-0 over Newton Conover, and Kings Mountain up big over Forest View 17-0. As we begin the second quarter of action, here from Mount Pleasant, the Tigers on top of the East Lincoln Mustangs 7-0. And it's a 3rd and 5 coming up here for the East Lincoln Mustangs. Looks like they'll have one back in the backfield. It'll be Chandler Jones and Chase Jones in the backfield. A couple receivers out wide to the left and 2 to the right as well.
Check that score on the Lincoln game. They missed extra points, so it's 6-0 Lincoln.
6-0 Wolves on top of Graham. Looking for a little bit of an upset are the Wolves. So 3rd and 5, Chase Jones looks left, throwing, and he'll throw it away. That ball is still live, I think, and then roll out of bounds. Wow, lucky break right there for East Lincoln.
He tried to throw it away and got hit. I thought it might be intentional grounding, but they're going to discuss it.
Yeah.
The ball actually ended up rolling out of bounds.
Luckily,
as Mount Pleasant players were trying to get to it.
That's what happens when you got that oblong football. You never know which way it's going to bounce, and luckily for the Mustangs, it rolled out of bounds, but we'll see if there's any penalty on the play, perhaps an intentional grounding, as you mentioned, Ken.
Or if they'll just mark it where it went out, which would be a loss.
Which would, but I think you'd take that over a Mount Pleasant having the ball right on about the 10-yard line.
Well, it looked like they're marching it back where the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to call, whoa, there's a penalty against Mount Pleasant. Let's see what this call is.
Roughing the passer, I think, is the call on the Tigers. So that'll be a big Alene Kubota first down, and that gets the Mustangs out of trouble, puts them up on their own about 38-yard line.
They must have felt like he hit him around the helmet or something, because it wasn't late yet.
No, he hit him as the ball was leaving a hand. It seemed like a clean play, but either way, the Mustangs the beneficiary of that one. So 4 wide receivers now is. It'll be an option play. Tavin Johnson takes the pitch, tries to make a man miss. He's trying to bounce it outside, and he will get brought down. He'll maybe pick up a yard.
Boy, nothing going on there. Oh, that's
getting chippy. Yeah, that happened right in front of the official. I believe that'll be on number 30 for the Tigers.
Player shoved a East Lincoln player after the whistle.
Yeah, right after and right in front of an official too. I believe that'll go on number 30. That's Grayson Honeycutt of the Tigers. A little bit of a discussion going on down there by the officials now.
And here's the call.
A little bit.
We thought.
You thought, yeah. Not quite.
They're still discussing.
Got a little more to talk about, maybe what their dinner plans are. Talk about the weather tomorrow, what they want to do. And here's the call.
Well, we're waiting.
Yeah, there we go. And it'll go against East Lincoln.
Oh,
it's going to be offsetting.
Offsetting personal fouls on both, looks like.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Ken. So
it'll be a
replay of the down, basically.
Yes, basically.
So once again, it'll be 1st and 10 for the East Lincoln Mustangs after those offsetting personal fouls.
On that play, they tried to get Taven Johnson on the outside.
Yeah,
and he's got some speed, but it was sort of slow developing.
Yeah,
you could
you're
see
exactly right.
He had some room over there initially, but it was so slow developed, the defense recovered. He couldn't turn the corner.
You're exactly right. So no, actually, so they're offsetting. So it'll be 2nd and 9 now. So Johnson will get that yard on the option run.
So I guess it was after the
after
whistle.
the play. So now, once again, East Lincoln coming out, 4 wide receivers, 2 on both sides, 1 back in the backfield. Shotgun snap, and we've got a flag.
Yeah.
Getting a little chippy early, it seems like, here between the Tigers and the Mustangs.
They got a lot of flags flying here recently.
Call now coming in. It'll be false start against the Mustangs. That'll push them back 5 yards, and we'll replay 2nd down. It'll be 2nd and 14 now from right about the East Lincoln, looks like the 34-yard line.
Let's see if the Mustangs put it in the air. They went back to pass a couple of times, but
really nothing doing.
Nothing doing. Jones couldn't find anybody, and I don't think he's got 1 incomplete pass, and that's it.
Yeah, we sort of talked about how good this defense is early, but we didn't really know what their strength was, whether it was run defense or pass defense. So far, defensive secondary has been good. Now, Jones, another pass play. He's scrambling around, buying time, rolling around. He'll throw it, and it's caught. Caught by, I believe that's Taven Johnson. It is, number 5.
Nice gain. It's not a first down because they were set 3rd and 14, but it's a nice gain.
That will bring up now 3rd down as that 2nd and 14 pass play. Looks like he picks up about 7, maybe 8 yards. Looks like that'll bring up a 3rd and maybe 7.
Now we have another penalty.
We got another penalty. Chop block? Or no, roughing the passer. Yeah, you're exactly right. So another Al Lanes Kubota 1st down via the penalty for the East Lincoln Mustangs. 1st and 10 there in Mount Pleasant territory now on the Tigers. Looks like the 43-yard line. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 back in the backfield again for the Mustangs. Shotgun snap, looking left, throwing left is Jones. It's caught by number 28, and looks like he'll pick up right about 5 yards.
That's Alex Biagi, I should say.
So on that 1st down pass play, they'll pick up right about 5 yards, split the difference, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5 now for the Mustangs. On the Mount Pleasant 38-yard line. It's still 7-0 Tigers on top of the Mustangs on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Just under 10.5 minutes to go in the first half of play. Man in motion now. It'll be handed off to that man in motion. That's number 17.
Terry Farrell.
That's Terry Farrell. You're exactly right.
A little bit of misdirection there, and he fights for a couple extra yardage.
Looks like
close to that first down.
And it is. It's an Al Lanes Kubota 1st down. This drive ticking along now as the Mustangs might have found their groove. 10:20 left in the first half as the clock stops.
In fact, we got a timeout on the field.
Yeah, we do have a timeout.
I think Mount Pleasant called it.
That'll be a Mount Pleasant timeout. We'll take it with them. It's 7-0 on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln. We'll be right back on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week.
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. It's time to call your...
Welcome back in here inside Mount Pleasant, North Carolina on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School here in Cabarrus County. 7-0, the Mount Pleasant Tigers on top of the East Lincoln Mustangs. I'm Carson Dockery, joined alongside Ken Link. It's the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week, brought to you by Ronaldo Auto Mall. East Lincoln with the ball here on a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10. Chase Jones
wide open.
Deep, wide open. I don't think he got it. Oh, man, just about. A big play right there. Chase Jones, intended for McKeevy Finks, and that one just short. McKeevy couldn't get his hands underneath.
No, he was throwing across the middle, a little bit of out and in post, and wide open. And
man, that should have been 6.
I think it was just a little underthrown.
Yeah.
He could not get to it, but that's a touchdown if it's pass is thrown a little bit better.
So that'll bring up now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Trips to the right, one wide receiver to the left, one back in the backfield as a man is in motion now for the Mustangs. Jones will take the snap, hand off to Chandler Jones. He'll break a couple tackles. He'll roll over and gain about 2, maybe 3 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down. Looks like it'll be 3rd and 7, maybe 3rd and 8.
Critical put down here for East Lincoln Mustangs as they're trying to keep this drive going. Just missed on a big pass play a play ago. So I look for them to put it in the air again. 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 from the Mount Pleasant 30-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Taking the shotgun snap is Jones looking left, now scrambling. He'll get wrapped up and brought down. Big 3rd down sack right there by the Mount Pleasant Tiger defense.
Big loss on that play.
Loses about 5 yards on that one. That'll push that to a 4th and about 13 now, and you got to imagine the punt unit coming on for the Mustangs. No, maybe not. Chase Jones staying out there on the field. This could be that sort of in-between area where you got to go for it. You don't want to punt it and it go too deep and they end up having it back out on the 20, so they'll go for it here. 4th and 13.
4th and 13.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Chandler Jones on his left hip of Chase Jones. Now he'll flip on the right hip. Jones takes the snap, shotgun snap, looks right, heaves it right. Ball up in the air, and that will be picked off, intercepted inside the 10-yard line, taking it back to the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, another cutback, and just a shoestring tackle right there.
Lucas McCollum made a shoestring
touchdown saving tackle.
But that's all the way out to the Mustangs 45-yard line.
Couldn't see who made the interception on that play, but a good job of high pointing the ball as well as a good run after the interception. Good yardage right there for the interception return. And there will be a flag on the play.
Looked like on the return there's a flag against Mount Pleasant.
So they will not have the ball in there in Mustang territory to start it. They will start on their own. We'll see where they mark it. And another flag, I believe. So a couple penalties on that play.
Wow, there's
probably block in the back, maybe a chop block. A lot of wild things happen on an interception return. So the Mount Pleasant Tigers will start this drive on their own 34-yard line as opposed to what would have been the East Lincoln about 45-yard line.
As it turned out, if it had been an incomplete pass, Mount Pleasant would have had better field position, but you never know what's going to happen. A great interception.
Yeah. 2 receivers to the right, 1 back in the backfield for the Tigers. DeQuilo under center. He'll put a man in motion. And it'll be a handoff to the right side. Not a lot doing right there. He'll pick up maybe about 2 on the first down run. 7-0 your score. Once again, Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln. Approaching the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter.
We got a gain of a couple on the play. 3 they'll give him. So they're 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7, as you mentioned, as the Tigers break the huddle. 2 wide receivers, they'll split them on either side. 1 back in the backfield. DeQuila under center once again. And he'll hand it off. Overbay will take it to the left side, breaks a tackle, first down and more for Garrett Overbay. Gets it all the way into Mustang territory, right about the East Lincoln 40-yard line, and a big Al Lanes Kubota first down for the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
It's about a 24-yard run by Overbay there.
Overbay, it seems like whenever he touches the ball, he gets big chunks of yards at a time.
Yeah, he has. He's had a good game so far, and we expected him to be the key rusher for this rushing attack by Mount Pleasant.
2 receivers to the right for the Tigers. One back in the backfield. It's Overbay again. D'Aquila under center as a man goes in motion. Play action pass, looking right, and he will be sacked. Brought down Ryan Matz. A big lick right there on Chance D'Aquila. Big first down sack right there that'll push the Tigers just about back to midfield to be on the Mustang 48-yard line.
Huge. That's the second big sack by Matz. He had some help on there. Initially, the interior of the line pushed him back, and Matz finished him off.
Matz and Gage Wellborn doing a lot of work for that front seven of the Mustangs, both of them getting in on sacks, or both of the first 2 sacks for the Mustang defense, and that'll bring up 2nd and 18 for the Tigers, needing to get it all the way to the Mustang 30-yard line. Shotgun snap, it'll be a handoff, this time running left and a lot of room. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, plus a couple more. Big carry right there by number 33, that's Nate Eisenhower. I believe that's Eisenhower's first carry of the night, and that'll pick up just around about 10 yards on the rush.
It'll bring up a 3rd down, and looks like about 8 maybe.
Yeah, big 3rd down here.
7 maybe.
For this Mustang defense, get a stop here, and could change some things. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 back in the backfield with D'Aquila. He'll take the shotgun snap, look right, throw right, and he's wide open. Touchdown, Pleasant. Mount Pleasant. That's number 7, Cade McDonald, on the receiving end of the Chance D'Aquila touchdown pass. It's 13-0. Tigers on top of the Mustangs. So D'Aquila finds, that's number 7, Cade McDonald. Big scoring play right there on 3rd and 8, and extra point on the way.
He was hit on the play as he was thrown, but he still was on target. And here's the PAT try.
Kick is up, and it is good. 14-0 your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard here in the 2nd quarter. 5:42 left in the first half of play. East Lincoln needs to get some points on the board. They trail Mount Pleasant 14-0 here on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week.
Tradition never graduates.
Tar Heels bring the house, and down he goes.
All out.
Loses the handoff, and Carolina picks up the fumble.
Every game, all season long.
What way can't the Tar Heels score today?
Catch all of the action right here on the Tar Heels Sports Network.
North Carolina, Duke, Clemson, and NCAA football right here on Big O Country, WHS, WCSL, and WLON, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. It's time to get ready. Get ready for the big Black Friday car, truck, and tractor show at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. Again, that's Friday, November 24th. What a day it's going to be. Cars, trucks, and tractors. Entry fee for the show is an unwrapped Christmas gift or $10. Items collected in the money will go to those less fortunate in our community this Christmas season. And check out the year-end savings at Classic Ford Lincoln. 0% financing for up to 72 months, plus up to $1,500 cash back on selected vehicles. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Classic Ford Lincoln.
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. The kickoff. Oh, yeah. And it's a long rolling kick that'll be fielded at about the East Lincoln 15-yard line, and I believe that's Farrell on the return.
Yeah, Farrell up to the 20. That's where Mustangs will start this possession. Trailing on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, 14-0 after a Silver Points home touchdown by Mount Pleasant.
Big 38-yard bomb from Chance D'Aquila to Cade McDonald on 3rd and 8, and that is exactly how we have our 14-0 score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
We talked about Parker being the key receiver, but D'Aquila's spread it around to several receivers.
Yeah, Parker's had a couple catches, but not really the big play that he's known for. First down play, and it'll be a handoff. Chandler Jones will take it through the right side. Pretty good run right there. Looks like he'll pick up about 4 yards on first down. That'll bring up 2nd and 6. East Lincoln on their own 24-yard line now. So we're approaching 5 minutes left here in the first half of play. Once again, your score 14-0. Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. This is the LincolnCounty.com game of the week. I'm Carson Dockery, joined alongside Ken Link. East Lincoln now with 2 backs in the backfield. It'll be another handoff to Chandler Jones. A lot of running room there. Good physical run. Chandler will be brought down awfully close to that first down marker.
Looks like you may have got about 4 more, 4 or 5.
And it looks like they're marking it on the 30, which would be a first down depending on.
Looks like maybe about
the ball.
half a yard short, maybe.
Yeah, maybe just a couple inches, really. 3rd and inches, literally. No, it will be a first down, and now Lanes Kubota first down for Chandler Jones in the East Lincoln offense. East Lincoln now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 2 backs in the backfield alongside Chase Jones. He'll take the shotgun snap, handoff to Chandler once again. He's wrapped up in the backfield. He won't gain anything on that one. Brought down by Bailey Dry of Mount Pleasant.
Nowhere to go on that as they had penetration early on, and right as he received the handoff, he was hit.
Oh, that'll bring up now 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs on their own 30-yard line. Coming up on the 4-minute mark left in the first half. If East Lincoln wants to get on the board here in these first couple quarters of play, they need to make it happen pretty soon. Shotgun snap, another handoff to Jones. No, it's a play action, good play action, and Bailey Dry will sack Chase Jones all the way back at the East Lincoln 15-yard line, a 15-yard loss. No, they're going to mark him down on the 20. So either way, a 10-yard loss, a big sack right there. On 2nd down, that'll bring up a 3rd and 20 now.
There's penetration there, and he looked to check it out to the flat to his right, but there's a defender there, and he had to eat it.
He just had to take that one for the team. And so now 3rd and 20. You don't have too many plays in the playbook for this kind of yardage. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 2 backs in the backfield alongside Jones. Chase will take the shotgun snap, look right, throw right. It's caught by Tavin Johnson.
Nowhere to
go. Yeah, nothing doing. Good form tackle right there by number 11, Fisher Furr of the Tigers defense.
And that's going to back up a 4th and 20. And the Mustangs are going to have to punt this thing back
you're exactly
to
right.
Mount Pleasant, a team that's been rolling on offense with 3:18 left in the half.
On that First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard also, Mount Pleasant on top 14-0. Take a timeout, but we'll stick with it here. As we talked about sort of in the pregame, we thought this was going to be a lot of running, maybe a play-action pass dashed in there, but Mount Pleasant's coming out really well in that offensive, the aerial part of the offensive attack.
There's been a lot of pass plays. Now, East Lincoln hasn't converted many pass plays, but they tried to pass a lot and have got sacked several times. And
East Lincoln defense has a couple sacks too, but I think Mount Pleasant's been able to deal with those sacks and have big chunks of yardage on offense, and that's something that East Lincoln hasn't had yet, just a big play to get that offense going.
No, they missed out on one that the guy was open. If the pass was been on target, it would have been a touchdown, but it didn't happen. So
Terry Farrell on to punt. Landon Parker back deep to receive right on the other side of the midfield mark. And flag on the play. Looks like it might be movement on the line early, and it is false start against the Mustangs. That'll push them back 5 more yards. So it was 4th and 20, now 4th and 25.
And now Mount Pleasant's looking to have very good field position as the deep man back receiving position is actually inside the 50 now.
Yeah, they've got a couple receivers back there, Parker as well as number 2, Noah Berryman. Farrell, good snap. Not a bad punt, spiraling out to about the 50-yard line. Parker will field it at midfield, and he'll get past one Mustang, stiff arm another, but he'll be brought down right at the Mustang 40-yard line. It's a good starting position here. Would have been a first down. The punt would have been a first down, but not too much else doing for the Mustangs here in this one. As I mentioned, 14-0 on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Coming up on 3 minutes left in the first half, 3:05 to go.
And Mustangs are they're in danger territory here. You don't want to go down 3 scores.
Not to this team.
Mount Pleasant has 3 minutes left and on the 40-yard line, so they certainly have an excellent opportunity again.
I think you'll see a lot of Garrett Overbay in this drive. He's the single back in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left. He'll take the handoff to the left side. Tripped up. Looked like he tripped over his own man.
Yeah, I think he tripped over one of those offensive linemen and only got maybe a minimal guard of a yard or 2 maybe.
Yeah, picked up maybe 2, maybe 3 yards on first down. That'll bring up second, and they're going to call it 2nd and 8. Coming up on the 2-minute warning here shortly. Even there's no stoppage of play, but 2 minutes left in the half.
We'll warn you about that.
Yeah,
That'll be the warning.
there it is. D'Aquila under center. Overbay, the lone back in the backfield. He'll take the handoff to the left side, and he's wrapped up by Ryan Matz after a pickup of a couple yards. Looks like that'll set up a 3rd and 6. Good couple plays right here by the East Lincoln defense, but
their defense has been better against the run than it has the pass, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
which is not something that, like I said, that's not something we anticipated coming into this one.
And 3rd and 6, I anticipate they'll throw it again here.
Mount Pleasant making their way up to the line just under the 2-minute warning now as Chance D'Aquila goes under center. He'll turn around, hand it off to Overbay to the left side, breaks a couple tackles, good running, and I believe he'll have an Al Lane's Kubota first down.
Yeah, they fooled me because they didn't pass it. They ran it and got the first down.
That's what they were counting on there as Overbay subbed out for Honeycutt. Good couple, 3-4 plays right there for Overbay. He'll pick up the first down.
As the clock runs down, 1.5 minutes left in the first half.
14-0 on that First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Mount Pleasant maybe looking to add more. D'Aquila under center. He'll hand it off to Honeycutt this time. A big bruising runner is Honeycutt. Looks like he'll pick up right around 4, maybe 5 yards on that first down carry.
Well, they're moving it, but the clock is ticking.
Yeah, this offense really isn't a quick strike offense, so if they really want to go for that sort of maybe an early nail in the coffin going up 21-0 before halftime, they're going to need to make it happen quick. Now D'Aquila will go into shotgun. 4 receivers, 2 on either side. 1 back in the backfield, 1 man in motion. Looking left, throwing left, and caught by, I believe that's number 7. That's Cade McDonald once again. That's another Al Lane's Kubota first down. This time it'll get inside the red zone. Look like he'll be on the 18-yard line. As Mount Pleasant now hurrying back to the line. We're under a minute, 40 seconds on the clock, and it's continuing to tick. D'Aquila, shotgun snap, he'll take it. It'll be a handoff, bounce it outside, now he'll bounce it back inside. Big run right there. Awfully close to that first down. Clock still ticking, under 30 seconds though, and there it is.
Odds and hair on that carry.
A timeout for the Mount Pleasant Tigers. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back here shortly on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week. 26.9 seconds left in the first half. Mount Pleasant up 14-0 over East Lincoln.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Monday, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. Tuesday, the oven roasted chicken sub. Wednesday, the turkey breast sub. Thursday, the Italian BMT sub. Friday, the tuna sub. Saturday, the Black Forest ham sub. And Sunday, the meatball marinara sub. Your choice, just $3.50. The Sub of the Day from Subway in Boulder City and the Walmart in Lincoln.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln. No matter where you live, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
Welcome back here inside Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. Carson Dockery joined alongside Ken Link. Just about wrapping things up here in the first half. Mount Pleasant up 14-0 on East Lincoln. 26.9 seconds left in the first half, and looking like Mount Pleasant wants to add one more score before we head to recess.
Yeah, they used the time out there to stop that clock. I look for them maybe to try to go to the end zone here with a pass.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Chase D'Aquila in. Shotgun set. He'll look right, scramble back up the middle, and he'll lower his shoulder. It looks like he'll pick up a first down. That'll stop the clock at 19.6 seconds, but ball spotted on the 5-yard line. Maybe time for 1, maybe 2 more plays if Mount Pleasant hurries, and they will. D'Aquila under center, might spike it here, and that's exactly what he'll do. Spike it to stop it. That'll Stop the clock at 16 seconds flat left in the first half of play. Once again, 14-0 Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
So they have a second goal on the 5-yard line as they're trying to get in with only 16 seconds left on the clock. I don't know whether they have another timeout left or not.
According to the scoreboard, they have none. East Lincoln apparently has all 3 left.
Okay. I remember 2 that Mount Pleasant had called for, but it looks like they've used them all.
So Tigers once again in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers on either side, 1 back in the backfield with D'Aquila. He will take the shotgun snap, look right. Now rolling out right, he'll throw into the end zone. Ooh, off of the hands of number 13. That pass intended for Tanner Gilmore. Looked like that one just rolled off the fingertips of Gilmore, and what would have been 6 instead will bring up 3rd and goal.
Hard hitting in there as we saw a helmet fly off that offensive line.
Yeah, offensively. We talked about that.
Off of number 77 for Mount Pleasant, who has to come out of the game for a play.
Number 77, that is Justin Barnhart.
10 seconds left on the clock, 3rd and goal from the 5.
Definitely one, maybe another chance upcoming here for the Tigers as D'Aquila once again in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 back in the backfield. He'll take the shotgun snap, look left, throw left, and that's caught, but is it in the end zone?
Looks like he's short of the end zone.
And that will
in the half. In the half. He didn't get in.
So just about points, but just about only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades and nothing doing for the Tigers.
He caught and was down at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that was Landon Parker on the reception, but that'll end the first half of play after 24 minutes.
As East Lincoln heads to the field house and Mount Pleasant's out there on the field.
We'll stick with it until there's a confirmed call. And obviously the home faithful here begging for a touchdown, but nothing doing, so that will officially take us to the half now as both teams will head into the locker room. Once again on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, Mount Pleasant 14, East Lincoln nothing. We'll be back shortly for the halftime show, and that's brought to you by Parker Farm Services of Kings Mountain, North Carolina. We'll be right back. Once again, Mount Pleasant 14, East Lincoln 0. It's halftime in round 1.
Drew, this new city just makes me miss home, man.
Go get a sweet tea from McDonald's. They make it fresh, sweet, and it's icy cold, just like your mom's.
But I miss home.
Oh, so you miss your mom telling you to make sure your room's clean? Or
close the fridge, Ryan, and stop letting all the cool air out. Or turn them lights off, Ryan.
All right, got it. The sweet tea is just right. But you know I'm going to tell my mom you got jokes.
No, don't.
This is no joke. Stop by McDonald's and get a large sweet tea for just $1 all summer long. Large sweet tea, just $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
Having trouble finding a car or truck at a price you can afford? Your troubles are over when you stop in at Milholland Automotive in Lincoln. At Milholland Automotive in Lincoln, they make buying a pre-owned vehicle easy. No credit, no money to put down. Milholland Automotive has the banks to get you approved. Come see the selection today at Milholland Automotive, 423 West Main Street in Lincoln. Visit the website at milhollandautomotive.com for a complete list of inventory, or give them a call at 704-736-1000. That's Milholland Automotive in Lincoln. It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR, plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. Campers Inn in Kings Mountain presents their second annual holiday bike drive. Camping out for kids, December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Campers Inn has partnered with the Kings Mountain Police Department to collect new bikes for the children in our community. They are hoping to collect from 150 to 200 new bikes, from toddlers to teens, and they do all the work. Just bring your unassembled bike and they'll put it together for you. You can help make Christmas brighter for a child this year. Plan now to participate in the second annual Camping Out for Kids Holiday Bike Drive, December 8th, 9th, and 10th at Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Oh, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
I said where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken where I come from.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
Welcome back inside the campus of Mount Pleasant High School from Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. I'm Carson Dockery, joined alongside Ken Link. You are inside the Parker Farm Services halftime show, and on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it reads Mount Pleasant 14, East Lincoln 0. And before we get into Ken Link's statistics, I'll get you some score updates from around the area. And, of course, it disappears as soon as I go to open it. You can go. Go ahead. Okay. You're the man with the beautiful voice. Let the people hear it.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the stats. Stat sheet brought to you by LincolnCounty.com. And in the first half was dominated by Mount Pleasant. They're ahead on the scoreboard 14-0, but they really maybe could have a bigger lead than that, because they have dominated this game from a statistical standpoint and a physical standpoint. Mm-hmm. They have in the first half over 200 yards total offense. Chance DeQuella, the quarterback from Mount Pleasant, is 6 out of 9 for 90 yards and a touchdown throw. He's also ran for a touchdown. They have 120 yards rushing and 90 yards passing, so a lot of balance there for that over 200 yards in the first half. On the receiving front, Landon Parker, the fine receiver, caught 2 passes, 25 yards. Curry has caught 2 for 15, and Cade McDonald has caught 3 passes for 50 yards, one of them a 30-yard touchdown pass. On the other side of the coin, the East Lincoln Mustangs have not been able to actually get anything going offensively. Yeah. They really only 18 yards, I show, rushing, only 12 yards passing on 2 out of 4. They attempted a lot of pass plays, but got sacked a lot. Mm-hmm. And they have less than 50 yards total offense in this first half. So that's not going to get it done. They were Chase Jones with 2 out of 4 for only 12 yards and also threw an interception. Chandler Jones only had 14 yards rushing in the first half. And that offense, if they don't get something going, they're going to be out of this game pretty quickly in the second half.
You're exactly right. So once again, your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard reads 14-0 in favor of the Mount Pleasant Tigers over the East Lincoln Mustangs. And let's get you some other scores of interest. At halftime, Mount Tabor on top of Ashbrook 21-0. At half as well, Stuart Kramer on top of Concord 10-6. Hunter Huss on top of West Rowan 17-7 at the half. In the second quarter, South Point up big on West Iredell 35-0. Also in the second quarter, another big lead. Kings Mountain 31-0 over Forest View. As well in the second quarter, Reedsville off to a 24-0 lead over West Lincoln in the second quarter. Shelby 35, Newton Conover 6. In the second quarter, it's a close one between Monroe and Crest. The Chargers on top of the Redhawks 14-7. A little bit of an upset. Lincolnton 25, Graham 6 in the second quarter.
And I understand the 6 was a pick 6 thrown by Lincoln quarterback. So they have dominated offense.
Yeah, that Graham defense really not doing too much and to round things out. Pretty close one in between Cherryville and Swain County. Only 7-0, the Maroon Devils on top of the Ironmen. So Cherryville might have a chance to get a playoff win if they keep playing like that. So once again, we are just about 7 minutes away from resuming play. We'll take another commercial break here on the Parker Farm Services halftime show. We'll be right back on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week. Once again, 14-0 your score. Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
It's the grand reopening of Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. Campers Inn in Kings Mountain presents their second annual holiday bike drive. Camping out for kids December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Campers Inn has partnered with the Kings Mountain Police Department to collect new bikes for the children in our community. They are hoping to collect from 150 to 200 new bikes, from toddlers to teens, and they do all the work. Just bring your unassembled bike and they'll put it together for you. You can help make Christmas brighter for a child this year. Plan now to participate in the second annual Camping Out for Kids Holiday Bike Drive, December 8th, 9th, and 10th at Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Oh, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vale.
Where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. Where I come from.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey, dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
It's the Subway Sub of the Day. Each day of the week, you get a different 6-inch sub for just $3.50. Monday, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. Tuesday, the oven roasted chicken sub. Wednesday, the turkey breast sub. Thursday, the Italian BMT sub. Friday, the tuna sub. Saturday, the Black Forest ham sub. And Sunday, the meatball marinara sub. Your choice, just $3.50. The Sub of the Day from Subway in Boulder City and the Walmart in Lincolnton.
Just say fill her up. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln. No matter where you live, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln can deliver. Just call 704-735-2508. Be ready for Old Man Winter with your winter fill up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Again, call 704-735-2508. Just say fill her up from Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln.
'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city.
Mount Pleasant has dominated statistics in the first half. East Lincoln, I would say, has to feel lucky to be down only 14-0.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it seems like, we came into this one thinking Mount Pleasant was going to come out, run. But they've shown good balance. Chance D'Aquila, as you mentioned, with good numbers through the air, a nice 30-yard touchdown pass to Cade McDonald on a 3rd and 8 play, and it seems like this offense has really been clicking since the start of the game.
It has, and East Lincoln had one good drive and had an opportunity with an open receiver that could have been a touchdown, but they didn't connect on that pass, and after that they didn't get close to scoring again, and Mount Pleasant has been able to sustain their drives, and as I said, could have easily scored, could have been ahead 21-0 if that score would have went in the end zone right as the half ended. The second half, let's see if East Lincoln can make adjustments to counteract some of the balance that Mount Pleasant has in the passing game as well as the running game.
Yeah, Garrett Overbay was sort of we thought he would be the focal point coming into this one, and we thought we might see number 42, Landon Honeycutt. We thought we might see him only really sort of inside the 10s, but he's gotten a lot more play than I think either of us really anticipated, and they've also really spread the ball around. We thought when they would pass it, they'd just give it to Landon Parker just about every time, but they've spread it around, and they've really kept the Mustang defense on their toes.
Yeah, it looked like East Lincoln was a little surprised in some of their formations and some of their passing schemes and routes. They had some receivers really open out there.
Yeah, both teams now making their way back onto the field. Got about 3 minutes left before we pick things up in the second half of action. We'll take another quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week on KTC Broadcasting. It's Mount Pleasant 14, East Lincoln 0.
It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening. Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. Campers Inn in Kings Mountain presents our second annual holiday bike drive. Camping out for kids December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Campers Inn has partnered with the Kings Mountain Police Department to collect new bikes for the children in our community. They are hoping to collect from 150 to 200 new bikes, from toddlers to teens, and they do all the work. Just bring your unassembled bike and they'll put it together for you. You can help make Christmas brighter for a child this year. Plan now to participate in the second annual Camping Out for Kids Holiday Bike Drive, December 8th, 9th, and 10th at Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
I said where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken where I come from.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina, on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School. The Tigers holding a lead 14-0 over the East Lincoln Mustangs on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. 12 minutes to go in this quarter, then 12 more. Only 24 minutes left for the Mustangs to try and make a comeback.
Yeah, as we wrapped up this Parker Farm Service halftime show, and we're ready to get this second half started. Mustangs will be receiving a kickoff. It's important that they get this kickoff, get a possession going, and go down the score. If they can do that, they can turn this thing around, but they need to get on that scoreboard.
You're exactly right, 14-0. But it feels like a lot more right now as that defense for Mount Pleasant is playing great. Offense churning along and keeping the ball for long periods of time and keeping it out of the hands of Chase Jones and Chandler Jones. And now kickoff underway, a little bit better, not so much of a squib this time as it's started on about the 21. That's Trey Farrell on the carry, and he'll be down right about the 32-yard line.
So that's where they'll start. The Mustangs. See if they can get something going here in this first half. They, in the latter part of the season, as they fell down at half, they would come out that second half with some fire and make some adjustments, score some points, and tighten things up. Let's see if they can do that tonight.
Coming out now with three receivers to the right, one to the left, shotgun formation. Chandler Jones on the left tip. Now Chase Jones, a quick throw over, and no, cannot be caught by number 24. That's Lucas McConnell. He'll take a big lick afterwards.
Looked like he was trying to run with it before he got it.
You're exactly right.
Defenders in the area, he wasn't going to go far. They bring up a 2nd and 10 now for the Mustangs.
You're exactly right. 2nd and 10 on the way. Looks like it'll be another 4-receiver set for the Mustangs. No, this time it'll be 3, 2 backs in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Jones will take the shotgun snap, hand off to Chandler Jones, trying to find some running room, and it looks like he'll pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards on the carry. That'll bring up a 3rd and long.
That'll bring up, looks like what should be a passing situation for Mustangs here as they try to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, the Tigers, they know that East Lincoln's probably going to come out and pass it a lot. Those corners giving them a lot of room out there on the edges. Look like a false start on the far side, and I believe that's exactly what it'll be. Leaf Finks got started a little early out there on the edge, and it will be a false start.
That is something that is that plagued East Lincoln early in the season. A lot of offensive penalties and mistakes. Unfortunately, they've had a couple in this game, and they need to eliminate those.
Yeah, McKeevy Finks jumping a little early, and now that'll bring up a 3rd and 12 instead of a 3rd and 7. Shotgun formation, looking left, now looking right. Now scrambling is Chase Jones. He'll take a big lick. He'll be brought down and sacked, and it looks like there's some laundry on the far side of the field, a flag down. Now we'll see what the call is.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks like Mount Pleasant players not pleased about something over there, so I don't know whether it's going against them or not.
A couple officials having words over there right around the 25-yard line. Still waiting on word. They're having a good long discussion. Still 14-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Just under 11 minutes, 10:54 to go in the 3rd quarter, and here comes the call. And no, it'll be waved off. They'll pick up the flag. No penalty on the play. And so once again, that will bring up 3rd and 12.
Actually, I think it should be.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're going to move. Yeah, sorry. You're right, you're right.
I think it should be 4th and 12.
Yeah, well, they're going to move. That was, well, I guess there had to be a penalty on the play. Or no, that's from the sack. That's right.
But they waved it off.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
And they'll count the sack.
So, the sack will be counted. That'll push it back to about a 4th and looks about 16 or 17. Farrell back there to punt. Landon Parker and Noah Berryman back to return for the Tigers. Good snap. A little bit of a low line drive kick. It'll take a East Lincoln bounce. Parker will field it, and he'll fumble it. Ball's on the ground. Looks like he might have fell right on it, though. We'll
Big scramble. Let's see. I don't know.
No designation yet. There it is. East Lincoln football, it looks like. And it will be.
Turnover.
Big turnover right there. That's better than a first down pass, wouldn't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. That's the break. That's the break that East Lincoln needed. Let's see if they can take advantage.
You're exactly right. That'll set up an Al Lanes Kubota first down after Landon Parker muffs the punt, not able to keep it cleanly. And then 1st and 10 now from their own 45-yard line of the Mustangs. Shotgun set, looking left, looking left. A lot of time throws right now to Jones. It's in and out of the hands of Taven Johnson. Looked like it also bounced off the defender right there. That's number 30, Grayson Honeycutt on the coverage. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 now.
Yeah, it looks like it was on target, but he couldn't quite hang on to it.
Good throw right there by Chase Jones, but as you mentioned, just in and out of the hands. It seems like maybe there's been some critical drops here from the Mustangs, and also Chase Jones missing McKeevy Finks on what should have been 6 points earlier. Now flags fly as the
more emotion.
False start on the Mustangs. That'll push them back 5 yards. That'll set up a 2nd and 15 now from their own 40-yard line, looking to get to the Mount Pleasant 45 for a first down.
East Lincoln's just having trouble getting in any kind of rhythm, and when you have penalties in there, it makes it even tougher. Be behind the sticks every possession.
4 wide receivers, 2 on either side, 1 back in the backfield for the Mustangs. Chase Jones will take the shotgun, snap, look right, throw right, and it's caught, and a big hit. Big catch right there, by number 21. That's Chandler Jones making the reception out of the backfield.
Short gain on the play.
Yeah, not a lot doing right there. Chase Jones having to check down. Looks like he'll pick up 2, maybe 3 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd and long, probably about 3rd and 13 here. Ball on the Mustang 43-yard line. Corners backing way off for the Tigers, giving them about 10 yards, it seems like. Chase Jones now drops back, looks right, throws right, and that one can't thread the needle intended for McKeevy Finks, but nothing doing. Looked like he had to throw that through about 3, maybe 4 defenders.
Yeah, he was well covered. Threw it low. He did get a hand on it, but it's too many defenders there.
Yeah, Chase Jones just sort of kept his eyes locked on Finks, never really moved through his progressions, and that'll bring up now 4th and 13. Farrell back to punt and Landon Parker back to receive once again. So after an opportunity, now flags again. After that gift of a first down, East Lincoln looking to punt it away again, and there could be backed up even more now.
I think it's going to be
encroachment. So that'll
be 5 yards, but it's still going to be 4th and long, even after the penalty.
East Lincoln probably still going to punt as they'll walk off the penalty. Goes from a 4th and 13 to about a 4th and 7 now, maybe 4th and 8.
And they'll be punting the line of scrimmage on the 47.
Good snap, and they
shanked
punt. That one. But it'll take a good roll. It'll get into
a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, as much of a roll as that one could get. Not a great punt right there by Terry Farrell, but it'll get into Tiger territory. The Mount Pleasant Tigers will start this drive. Looks like it'll be on their own 40-yard line. Nope, a little farther back, about the 39. With 9:28 to go in the third quarter on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, Tigers up 14-0 on the East Lincoln Mustangs, and they'll have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 39. So East Lincoln got that gift, couldn't really do anything with it.
They couldn't do anything with it, and now they need to stop these the Tigers again to be able to get back in this game, but they haven't stopped them often tonight.
Mount Pleasant, their first offensive play of the second half. It'll be a handoff. Look like that's Garrett Overbay on the carry. He'll pick up a couple yards. On first down, it'll bring up 2nd and about 8.
Chase Williams on the big cat on the tackle for East Lincoln.
Clock approaching the 9-minute mark here in the third quarter. Tigers will come up to the line. One receiver on either side, one back in the backfield. Chance to Aquila under center. Aquila takes a snap, handoff to Overbay to the left. He's got some contact in the backfield, bounces off of it, gets a first down, keeps churning those legs, and it looks like he'll pick up 12, maybe 13 yards on the carry. Good patient run right there by Garrett Overbay. And that's an Al Lanes Kubota first down for the Mount Pleasant Tigers, and they're into East Lincoln territory.
A good hard run by Overbay, who broke some tackles and got free for a nice gain and another first down, as they now have pushed the ball across the 50 on the 47-yard line of the Mustangs.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Looks like Honeycutt in the backfield now. One receiver on either side. He'll hand it off to Honeycutt to the right. Big bruising runner. Looks like he'll pick up 4, maybe 5 on a good first down run. It'll bring up 2nd and about 5 or 6.
Honeycutt, we were told they used mostly in goal line situations, but they've been using him in the middle of the field to help with that rushing attack as they spread it around as far as the rushes tonight.
Mount Pleasant makes its way back to the line. 2 receivers, both of them on the left. One back in the backfield. It's Honeycutt once again. D'Aquila comes under center. He'll take the snap and hand off to Honeycutt. He'll bounce it right, and he's wrapped up pretty quickly right there. Good tackle right there by number 54 for East Lincoln. That is Gage Wellborn. We've seen him make a couple plays in the backfield, part of both Mustang sacks so far, but right there getting good penetration.
Yeah, Gage Wellborn and Mats have made some big plays tonight in the backfield.
That right side of the defensive line seems like pulling a lot of the weight.
So to bring up a 3rd and 3 now.
Big third down conversion right here. East Lincoln looking to get a stop. Could be 4 down territory, though, for the Tigers. D'Aquila under center. He'll turn around, hand it off to Honeycutt. He's got a first down, and he's still running inside the 30, right down to about 25, 26-yard line. That's an Al Lanes Kubota first down.
Looked like a gain of about 16 on that play.
Big carry right there by the big guy, number 42, Landon Honeycutt, the 6'1", 190-pound junior. Garrett Overbay back in the backfield. Landon Parker out wide. He's the only receiver in this set. D'Aquila under center. He'll take the snap. Handoff to the right side. Goes Overbay. And he will be stopped pretty soon. But he'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. That'll bring up second and about 7 for the Tigers.
He is initially met by Blaine Dellinger of the Mustangs.
Mount Pleasant is just keeping on the ground, wearing down the East Lincoln defense and saying, hey, we're coming at you. We're going to be physical. Stop us if you can. And so far, East Lincoln hasn't been able to do it.
You're exactly right. That'll bring up second and 7 from right outside the red zone, the Mustang 23-yard line. Under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, 14-0. Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. D'Aquila under center. He'll hand off to Overbay. He'll take it right in between the tackles. He'll pick up 1, maybe 2 yards on the second down run. That'll bring up third and around 5.
So down, looks like on the 21-yard line. It'll bring up third and 7, but they're down deep, obviously in 4-down territory here.
Right on the edge of the red zone are the Tigers as they make their way back to the line. Landon Parker going out wide to the left, one back in the backfield. It's Landon Honeycutt. Looking like they might run it to the left now, and there it is. Honeycutt to the left. He breaks the tackle. A lot of running room. Spinning inside the 5 and finally brought down. Looks like right around the 1 or 2 yard line. Big run right there by Landon Honeycutt, and it's now Lane Skabota, first down.
Several big runs this night by Honeycutt, who's hard to bring down once he gets that
head of steam
going, and he carried them inside the 5. It looks like it's around the 2 yard line.
Yeah, the 1 or 2 yard line.
Yeah, maybe 1.5.
So first and goal coming up here for the Tigers as they get to the line quickly, and it'll be Landon Honeycutt in for a score. Touchdown, Tigers. Pushes their lead to 20-0 over East Lincoln, pending the extra point. Good run right there as they get to the line quickly. Landon Honeycutt does a lot of the work, and he gets the reward. His first touchdown run of the night.
That makes it 20-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, pending the PAT. As that rushing attack just marched right down the field to put that ball in the end zone.
Lining up for the extra point now are the Tigers. Extra point up, and it is good. 21-0 now your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. 4:42 left in the third quarter, and East Lincoln, they're behind the 8 ball, looking to get their offense going when we get back. We'll be right back here on the LincolnCounty.com Game of the Week.
Drew, this new city just makes me miss home, man. Go get a sweet tea from McDonald's. They make it fresh, sweet, and it's icy cold, just like your mom's. But I miss home. Oh, so you miss your mom telling you to make sure your room's clean? Or
close the fridge, Ryan, and stop letting all the cool air out. Or turn them lights off, Ryan.
All right, got it. The sweet tea is just right. But you know I'm going to tell my mom you got jokes.
No, don't.
This is no joke. Stop by McDonald's and get a large sweet tea for just $1 all summer long. Large sweet tea, just $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
Having trouble finding a car or truck at a price you can afford? Your troubles are over when you stop in at Milholland Automotive in Lincoln. At Milholland Automotive in Lincoln, they make buying a pre-owned vehicle easy. No credit, no money to put down. Milholland Automotive has the banks to get you approved. Come see the selection today at Milholland Automotive, 423 West Main Street in Lincoln. Visit the website at milhollandautomotive.com for a complete list of inventory, or give them a call at 704-736-1000. That's Milholland Automotive.
Welcome back here inside Mount Pleasant. Kickoff underway, and East Lincoln will bring it out to right around the 20-yard line, but we got a little bit of laundry on the field, a flag on the play.
Yeah, we'll see. Looks like it may be against the Mustangs.
Waiting for the rolling as the officials still having a quick word down there around the 15-yard line.
Well, maybe not. Let's see what they call.
Going to be a block in the back.
Or
no, not a block in.
Well, that's against Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, no, that's not a block in the back.
So it's not blocking the back.
Yeah, no, it's
personal foul, maybe.
Personal foul, yeah.
I don't know. I saw him throw the flag, but He threw it from over here on the far side where there weren't many players. I couldn't tell what it was for.
Either way, that'll set up East Lincoln with a first down now instead of on the 15, on the 25. Man in motion as Chase Jones will hand it off. Fumble. Ball on the ground. And it looks like a little bit of a scrap going on there now between Terry Farrell and
Mount Pleasant says they have it. Let's see.
Still no official signal, and I believe they do. Yeah, offense coming onto the field, so big fumble right there. I believe that was number 24, Lucas McConnell.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was a clean exchange between the quarterback and the running back there. So, unfortunately, a big turnover here for North Lincoln.
Yeah.
To put Mount Pleasant in great position here. Looks like it's going to be on the 22-yard line.
Yeah, right around.
Maybe 23-yard line.
Yeah, 23, 24-yard line, and this is probably Mount Pleasant's best starting position all night, leading 21-0 with 4.5 minutes to go left in the third quarter on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Two receivers to the right, single back in the backfield is Overbay as a man goes in motion. DeQuilla under center. He'll turn around, hand it off Overbay, taking it right. He's met quickly at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle right there. Ryan Matz. Feel like we've said his name before, and he'll get the tackle. Look like maybe a 1, maybe 2-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up second down.
And got a 2nd and 9 now, as they just keep it on the ground. Mount Pleasant Tigers do.
DeQuilla under center. A lot of men in the box now. He'll drop back to pass. Looking right, throwing right. It's Parker. He'll make the reception. Good tackle right there. Good gang tackling by the Mustangs. That's Terry Farrell. Looked like Ryan Matz making his way out there to the flat, as well as number 49. That is Trevor Philo.
Looked like a gain of about maybe 5 or 6 on the pass play. Bring up a third down.
3rd and 1, 3rd and short here for the Tigers. They're inside the 15, right to about the Mustang 14-yard line, inside the red zone. 21-0 once again your score. First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard approaching the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter. No receivers in this formation. Landon Honeycutt, the big back in the backfield. DeQuilla under center. He'll hand off. Good hole right there for Honeycutt. He'll break it through inside the 10-yard line. That's now Lane's Kubota. First down. And it looks like he's on about the 7, maybe 8-yard line. This Tigers offense, really, it seems like they don't make too many mistakes.
No, and they're driving now, pretty much having their way on offense.
Under 3 minutes left in the third quarter now, as DeQuilla getting some signs from the sideline. And now the Tigers will make their way to the line. One receiver, it's wide left is Landon Parker, but it's DeQuilla, I believe, on a quick quarterback keeper. Nothing doing, though. He might pick up a couple yards after he's slung to the ground. And a flag on the play after some extracurriculars after the whistle.
The ref looks like he got a pretty good arm as he tossed that thing high there.
We'll wait for the call now. Having some good conversation down there are the officials. And now here comes the call. It'll be against the Tigers. It'll be an illegal shift and a couple offsetting personal fouls on both clubs.
Wow.
So it will remain first down. They'll push it back about 5 yards. First and goal now on the 13-yard line after a little pushing and shoving.
That's 3 flags on one play. So.
Not bad.
So we have a first down on the, looks like about the 13-yard line. 1st and 13.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter.
So it's actually first and goal from the 13.
Mm-hmm. Landon Honeycutt in the backfield. No receivers on this play, looking like they might run it right. That's exactly what they'll do. Honeycutt breaks through a couple arm tackles and keeps those legs churning. Looks like he'll pick up about 4 on the play. Out to about the 9-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 9 now.
Honeycutt's been the the carrier here, most of the rushes here in the second half, if they've been featuring him. Once they get, especially inside that 20, he's going to carry the lot.
Mount Pleasant making their way back to the line. Once again, no receivers on this play. Extra lineman and a tight end in as a man goes in motion out wide far left. Honeycutt will run it wide left, trying to find the corner, running it stiff arms, and he'll dive, but I believe he'll be just short.
Inside the 5, but didn't quite get in.
Dove for the pylon, couldn't quite make it. Looks like he's down right at about the 1 yard line. They'll be on the far left hash. Landon Honeycutt's been the workhorse here in the second half as the clock goes under a minute here left in the third quarter. 21-0 your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Mount Pleasant holding a commanding lead over East Lincoln, looking to push it to 28-0.
They're up to the line of scrimmage. Hurry, and now his quarterback sneak.
Nope, that's going to be Honeycutt on the carry, and he's in.
Oh, was it? Okay.
For his second rushing touchdown of the night. That'll push it to 27-0, pending the extra point. Mount Pleasant really running away with this one now.
Yes, that's a 4 touchdown lead here. Another Silver Point Holmes touchdown for Mount Pleasant. Waiting the PAT.
Second rushing touchdown of the night for Landon Honeycutt. They'll line up now for the extra point.
That's 2 rushing touchdowns this half for Honeycutt.
Kick on the way. It's up and looks good.
It is good.
And it is good. It's 28-0 Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We'll be right back only on KTC Broadcasting.
Celebrating 50 years. It's the Glen Oaks Golf Club. Hard to think how many birdies have been made over those years, and oh yeah, how many double bogeys too. Whether it's a birdie, par, or bogey, you'll love the Glen Oaks Golf Club. It's open to everyone. Visit the beautiful pro shop with driving range, snack bar, banquet facility, bar, picnic, shelter, and swimming pool. Great for group outings. Reserve your tee time by calling 828-428-2451 or visit the website at glenoaksgolf.com.
There's a storm coming. We may not know its path, but your independent auto owner's insurance agent knows no matter what happens, we'll be there when you need us most. Strong through every storm. That's how it's been for our first 100 years, and how it will be for generations to come.
Your local auto owner's insurance agency.
Welcome back here inside Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. Cabarrus County, and on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School, I'm Carson Dockery, joined alongside Ken Link on the LincolnCounty.com game of the week. Things not going great for the Mustangs. They're down 28-0 to the Rocky River 2A Conference champion Mount Pleasant Tigers. A short kick, and Tyler Philo will make the return. And it looks like with forward progress, he'll be right around the 40-yard line. That's where East Lincoln will begin this drive with 31.6 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, that third quarter certainly didn't go East Lincoln's way. Now they've got a tremendous uphill battle in front of them, as they have not been able to get their offense on track. In this second half, Mount Pleasant's rushing attack has just marched right down the field twice.
East Lincoln now lining up on offense. 4 receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Tavin Johnson moves in motion, but the handoff will go to Chandler Jones. He'll spin off 1 tackle, and he'll gain about 2 yards, get out to the East Lincoln 45-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 8.
So East Lincoln, without the huddle here, they're quickly up to the line, trying to play a little quicker here.
4 receivers, you got to do that when you're down 28-0. Is now Jones looking right, throws right, a deep ball. No, that's McKeevy Finks, and nothing doing good. Battle out there between Finks and number 11, that's Fisher Furr for the Tigers.
They have tight coverage, and they end up being sort of a jump ball, both defender and receiver fighting for it, and Finks could not come down with it.
Yeah, if you're Finks, that's really what you're asking for. You've got single coverage out there on the sideline, and you want that jump ball, but right there, good defense from Fisher Furr.
And that'll end the third quarter.
You're exactly right. That'll end the third quarter. We'll take it to the fourth. 12 minutes left. East Lincoln has the ball, trailing 28-0 to Mount Pleasant on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We'll be right back after this.
We're a community bank. That's why we always try to approach things from a community-minded point of view. When something is in the best interest of the communities we serve, it's good for us as well. We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded, just like you.
We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, with 3 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, and Vail. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. The Can-Ams have arrived at Al Lane Motorsports in Lincoln. They're big, they're bold, and they're now in stock at Al Lane Motorsports. See the new 2018 Can-Am Maverick.
Welcome back here to East Lincoln High School. East Lincoln has the ball. We're here in Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. Chase Jones, a quick pass over to McKeevy Finks, and he'll be slammed to the turf right there by number 40, Bailey Dry. He'll pick up probably about 4, maybe 5 yards on the reception, and that'll set up a 4th and looks like about 2 yards. Right on the 50-yard line is where the ball's marked. Can't imagine East Lincoln punting it right here, and so Chase Jones will come back out. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left in a pistol formation. Tavin Johnson in motion. He'll get the toss. They're going for that fake throw again. A big heave from Johnson, and it is not brought down.
I tell you, that play had double coverage on the receiver, only receiver in the route, and that just wasn't going to work because of the coverage.
Yeah, turnover on downs right there, and that'll give Mount Pleasant the ball right at midfield. 11-13 to go in this ball game, and on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, the Tigers holding the big 28-0 lead over the Mustangs. 11-13 left in this ball game.
That's the second time they tried that play, and it hasn't fooled anybody. In fact, on that one, they had double coverage.
Yeah, they were prepared for it that time, as now DeQuilla comes under center. 2 receivers to his right, 1 back in the backfield is Overbay. Take the handoff to the left side. Good push over there by the guard coming around. Takes a lick right there from number 53 of the Mustangs. That's Devin Rigdon.
Big hit on that after a short gain of maybe, looks like about 2 yards.
Bringing us up 2nd and 8 now as we go under 11 minutes. Mount Pleasant now into East Lincoln territory on the Mustang 48-yard line. Now the Mustangs, not the Mustangs, but the Tigers, they'll come up to the line of scrimmage. Man in motion, 2 receivers to his right, 1 back in the backfield for Mount Pleasant. Now the handoff will go to Berryman. He'll put his head down, push the pile a little bit. He'll gain about 3 yards, and then he'll bring up now 3rd and 5. Looks like we might have a Mustang down. That's exactly what it is. Take an injury timeout, and we'll take it with him. We'll be right back here, only on KTC Broadcasting.
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. It's time to call your order in for your special event. Call the Chuck Wagon Grill for any occasion. They'll cater to your every need. They'll even bring it to your doorstep. And be sure to check out their prime rib. It's absolutely out of this world good. The Chuck Wagon Grill is open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with some great daily lunch and dinner specials. Be sure to check out their homemade soup on these cool days. For your catering order, call 704-732-4777. The Chuck Wagon Grill, 3051 Highway 27, east of Lincoln.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look.
CKDKDS Macron.
Ah, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. It's the Grand.
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina on the campus of Mount Pleasant High School. Had an injured Mustang on the play. He'll make it to the sideline under his own power. And now it's 3rd and 5 coming up for the Tigers. Chance to Aquila under center, one back in the backfield, 2 receivers to his right. And it'll be a run to the left side, and looks like that'll be number 33. That's Nate Eisenhower, and he'll be just about a yard short on that 3rd down run. Bring up 4th and 1, and there's a flag. As it's been all night. A lot of pushing and shoving and talking down there.
Yeah, after the play, so we'll see what the call is.
Yeah, this could either turn into a Mount Pleasant first down, maybe pushing back, or it could offset and we'd just be set with a 4th and 1.
They've called several offsetting tonight. Let's see what this is.
Personal foul against East Lincoln and a personal foul against Mount Pleasant. There it is, the offsetting penalties.
Again.
And that'll bring up 4th down. I believe that's the 3rd or 4th time that's happened tonight, Ken.
Yes, it has, and they're trying to control things down there.
Which is good. That's what you want.
And without penalizing the team too much.
Yeah, you want
to get the point across.
Yeah, you want to keep control, but you want to still let them go out there and play football. So now it'll bring up a 4th and 2, or maybe a long one. Yard to gain is the 40-yard line. It's right at about the 42. So it'll be a 4th and 2. One receiver to the right, it's Landon Parker. Landon Honeycutt in the backfield, the single back. Chance to Aquila under center, looking like they might run it right here. Honeycutt running it right. He's got the first down, looking for more. He'll be out to about the 35-yard line, so about 7-yard pickup on 4th down. That'll be another Al Lanes Kubota first down for the Mount Pleasant Tigers. As we're under 9.5 minutes to go in this one, 28-0. Tigers on top of the Mustangs on your First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
I've got Honeycutt with over 70 yards in this second half, so he's been the primary ball carrier in this second half. He and Garrett Overbay both have been carrying the load.
Nate Eisenhower, the man in the backfield there, but good penetration as looks like Gage. It's number, look, it would help if I looked at the right roster. Number 54, that's Gage Wellborn on the tackle.
And he's been in a good many tackles tonight in that interior line, along with Ryan Matz.
Both Wellborn and Matz really making their presence felt. They're trying to maybe look at their defensive secondary and say, hey, you guys make a play for us too. 2nd and 10 coming up here on the Mount Pleasant, or the Mustang 36-yard line. Eisenhower, the lone back in the backfield. Now Tequillo drops back to pass, throwing left, and that will be out of play. It looks like that was intended for number 13, Tanner Gilmore. Nothing doing on 2nd and 10. And after that incomplete pass, it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Pretty good coverage out there by the Mustangs on that one. And he had to rush it. He had some rush coming at him, so I think he had to throw it a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
All right, so that'll bring up now a 3rd and long, one of very few 3rd and long situations tonight for the Tigers.
3rd and 10, let's see what they draw up. They got a spread formation out here, trips to the left.
Trips to the left, one back in the backfield, one receiver to the right. Nate Eisenhower, the man in the backfield, would chase Tequila. They'll hand it off to Eisenhower. He'll run it right. He'll get right past the original line of scrimmage. He'll maybe gain 2-3 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down. Looks like about a 4th and 7.
Yeah, they ran to the short side there, and there wasn't much over there on that one.
Eisenhower, though, wisely staying in bounds to keep that clock moving. We're under 8 minutes now, and the Tigers will stay out there on offense looking for a big 4th down conversion. As we mentioned earlier, this is the area of the field where it's sort of in between. It's too long for a field goal, too short for a punt, so you might as well go for it.
4th and 7, and they've gone for it and made it several times tonight.
Yeah. So Tequila now.
Yeah, it looks like they're running down and they're going to use a timeout here. We're down to 7:20 left on the clock in the game.
We'll take that timeout with them. Mount Pleasant taking the timeout. It's 28-0 Tigers on top of the Mustangs on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We'll be right back.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County for over 75 years. Customer service is a priority at First Federal Savings Bank, where they want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, products, and services of larger banks with hometown people that you see throughout your community. They live here, they work here, and this community matters to the people at First Federal Savings Bank. First Federal Savings Bank has 4 convenient locations in downtown Lincoln, Boger City, Denver, and West Lincoln. Stop in and visit and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. The Black Friday sales event is underway at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Lincoln. Coming out for huge savings like the 2017 Dodge Charger. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus up to $1,000 Chrysler Capital Bonus cash. And the new 2017 Dodge Challenger equipped with a big V8 engine.
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. 4th and 7 upcoming for the Mount Pleasant Tigers as they lead the East Lincoln Mustangs. 28-0 shotgun set. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 back in the backfield. DeQuilla takes the shotgun snap, looks left, throws left. Cade McDonald, that's 6. Touchdown, Tigers.
Beautiful pass play. Hit him right on in stride, and he held on to it. Great play.
34-0 the score now on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, pending the extra point. A big 4th and 7 score for a touchdown to, I think the nail was put in the coffin really after about 21-0, but now lead swelling to 34-0.
Yeah, the great execution on that play by everybody, the line, the quarterback, and the receiver to catch that thing, hold on to it in the end zone for the touchdown. Here's the PAT try. Here's the snap. It's down, and it's good.
Kick is up, yeah, and good. So that'll push the lead to 35-0 now. Mount Pleasant on top of East Lincoln on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back here only on KTC Broadcasting.
It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at
Welcome back here to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. Carson Dockery joined alongside Ken Link on the LincolnCounty.com game of the week, and 35-0 Mount Pleasant's really shown its muster tonight against the East Lincoln Mustangs.
And here's the kickoff. Mustangs waiting. It's down to about the 20-yard line.
Terry Farrell on the return. He'll take it left, taking it up the sideline. Good return right here from Farrell. And out to about the Mustang 40-yard line. Good starting field position here for the East Lincoln Mustangs.
And it looks like there's still some faithful Mustang fans that are sticking it out over there on the far side. I talked to my cousin right before the game. He was coming down to see his grandson play. That's Ronnie Huss, my cousin, and his grandson, the sophomore at East Lincoln, Blaine Delliger. So shout out to Ronnie. He's probably still over there watching it to the end.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Chase Jones. He'll look right. A lot of pressure. Oh! Nearly intercepted by one of the big boys down there. Number 77 had a hand on it. That's Dustin Barnhart for the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
It looked like he was trying to set up a middle screen, but the rush was right on top of him, and as he threw it, it almost got intercepted.
Just about. You're exactly right. And so now that'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the near pick. Now trips to the right of Chase Jones, Chandler Jones on his left hip. Looks like a quick bubble screen to McKeevy Finks, and he makes a pretty good play out of it. There were several Tiger defenders over there, but Finks sort of able to snake through them. Looks like he'll pick up about 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, it looked like that was going nowhere, but he made something out of that play.
You're exactly right, something out of nothing. So now that'll bring up Good spot, though, and that'll bring up looks like 3rd and 3 from the Mustang 47-yard line. Shotgun set, looking left, throwing left. He's got a man out there. It's Terry Farrell. First down and more. As Farrell is now pushed out of bounds. That's an Al Lanes Kubota first down for the Mustangs. Feel like we haven't said that in a while.
It's been a while. That's about a 10-yard gain. Plenty enough for the first down.
So now they are into Mount Pleasant territory. They're on the Tiger 41-yard line, and East Lincoln just looking to put some points on the board in this one.
Yes, they're trying to get on this scoreboard. They've been a frustrating night for the Mustangs, and they're trying to make something positive happen here.
3 to the right, 1 to the left receivers for the Mustangs. Chase Jones looking left, quickly throws left. He's got a completion, and he's quickly brought down. That one completed to, look like number 8, Chris Dennis.
Chris Dennis on the reception for the Mustangs.
Looking like that one picked up about 3, maybe 4. Now bring up a 2nd and 7 now on the Tiger 38-yard line now. 3 receivers to the right, once again 1 to the left. Now Chandler Jones will take the handoff out of the shotgun set. Good hard running from Chandler right there. Looks like he'll pick up about 2 yards, and that'll set up a 3rd and pretty manageable here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, look like about 3rd and 5 maybe.
One of the better one of the better third down scenarios that the Mustangs have had all night. It seems like they've been behind the 8 ball a while on 3rd down. 4 receivers, 3 to the right. Now Jones looking right. Now he'll throw the bomb. He's got a man wide open off the hands and fingertips of number 24, Lucas McConnell. That would have certainly been 6. No dice though, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's 2 times they've missed out on a big pass play that could have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
In one case, it was underthrown. In that case, the receiver.
Overthrown.
Yeah, in that case, he just couldn't quite hold on. Looked like he should have had that, but he couldn't quite hold on to it.
It would have been a great catch if he came down with it. But instead, that'll bring up 4th and 5 from the Tiger 36-yard line. The line to gain is right around the 31.5. And now we'll have time called. It'll be an East Lincoln Mustang timeout. We'll take it with them. Be right back. 35-0 your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Mount Pleasant way ahead of East Lincoln.
Think your dream home is out of reach? Think again. At Silver Point Homes in Lincoln, they provide quality custom construction and the luxury amenities you want at an exceptional value. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an empty nester looking to downsize, we have the perfect home for you. Visit silverpointhomes.com to learn more or stop by our Lincoln and Sales Center to tour our model homes. Let our friendly staff help you visualize your dream. Silver Point Homes, making your dream home a reality. New models now on display. Silver Point Homes, East Main Street, Lincoln. It's time to call your order in for your special event. Call the Chuck Wagon Grill for any occasion. They'll cater to your every need. They'll even bring it to your doorstep. And be sure to check out their price.
Welcome back here. Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. Big 4th and 5 conversion coming up. And once again, it'll be look like a little bit of a receiver reverse, and looks like that'll get the first down. Terry Farrell on the carry right there. Looks like he picked up about 7 yards.
Yeah, good running play there.
It's an Al Lanes Kubota first down. Second one on this drive for the Mustangs.
So it looks like it's going to be put down about the 28-yard line of Mount Pleasant.
1st and 10, 3 receivers to the right. Jones looking right. Now he'll scramble out to his left. He's got some free area, and he gets tripped up. Looked like Nate Eisenhower was the one who got a shoelace, and Chase Jones will pick up, looks like about 4, maybe 5 yards on the quarterback keeper.
So we're down to 4 minutes left in the ball game. Look like Mount Pleasant is substituting, getting some more guys out there on the field to play.
Chase Jones in a shotgun formation. He'll look left quickly, try to throw right, nothing doing. Now he'll scramble again, keep it up the middle. And it looks like he picked up a yard, maybe 2 right there on 2nd and 5. Looks like that'll bring up about a 3rd and 4, maybe 3rd and 3. Once again, your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, 35-0 in favor of Mount Pleasant over East Lincoln as we go under 3.5 minutes left in this one. Jones in the shotgun. Man in motion is Terry Farrell. A quick throw now, and it's nearly intercepted in and out of the hands of number 12 for Mount Pleasant. That's Bryce Curry. That certainly would have ended things.
Yeah, that was one he wished he could have held on to because he was right there in his arms.
That's one of those freebies that you just like to have for the stat sheet.
So that brings up another 4th down for the Mustangs to make 4th and 4 as they try to get this first down and keep this drive going.
4 receivers, now 1 in motion is Terry Farrell. Farrell on the reverse once again, looking for a first down. He'll get it once again and more. Another Al Lanes Kubota first down on a wide receiver reverse.
And see where they're going to mark this down at.
Looks like
around the 10.
Yeah, right around the 10, maybe inside. Chains are still moving.
Gain of about 11 on that play.
Looks like, it will be 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Al Lane Kubota first down. Like you said, 1st and goal right on the 10, it looks like.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Chandler Jones on Chase Jones's left hip. He'll look right, now look left. Now he's going back. He's being chased around. He'll find, Terry Farrell just dropped that one. Hit him right in the numbers. And Terry Farrell is pretty upset with himself right there.
Been a couple drops tonight by some receivers. They've just been out of rhythm all night. They haven't been able to get anything put together and sustain it.
And it's your first real cold game. And that ball, when it's cold, man, it's hard. It doesn't feel good to catch a real hard one like that when it's this cold. So 2nd and 10 now, 2.5 minutes to go. Jones floats one into the end zone. McKeevy fakes. Nothing doing as that one goes out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, out of the back of the end zone. Threw it a little bit too far. No one could get it within play.
Fisher Furr on the coverage over there on the right side. And now the clock will stop at 2:27, 3rd and goal for the Mustangs. And there's a late flag. Wonder what that's for.
I don't know. Someone said something. Because there's no action going on when it flew.
There's a couple 4-letter words you just can't say, and maybe that was one of it.
Well, it's against the Mustangs. I don't know what that call is unless it was a sideline warning or something. Anyway, it's going to back up the Mustangs.
So that'll push them back, looking like it'll be 10, maybe 15. Oh, that's a 15-yard penalty. That had to be a personal foul.
Yeah, some kind of.
So now a 3rd and goal from the 25. Don't hear that too often.
No. So let's see what the Mustangs dial up here as a play. Time's been stopped.
A timeout. Yeah, Mount Pleasant timeout. We'll take it with them. 2:27 left in this one. Mount Pleasant out comfortably in front, 35-0 over East Lincoln. We'll be right back, only on KTC Broadcasting.
The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn in Kings Mountain presents our 2nd annual holiday bike drive. Camping out for kids December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Campers Inn has partnered with the Kings Mountain Police Department to collect new bikes for the children in our community. They are hoping to collect from 150 to 200 new bikes, from toddlers to teens, and they do all the work. Just bring your unassembled bike and they'll put it together for you.
3rd and goal.
You better throw it.
And he's sacked. Chase Jones sacked on a 3rd and goal from the 25, and now it'll be 4th and goal from right around the 32-yard line. In on the sack right there for Mount Pleasant. That's number 54. That's Gage Redmond. Right on the 2-minute warning, and We're sub 2 minutes now, 35-0. Once again, your score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, Mount Pleasant in front of East Lincoln.
Now we got 4th and goal from the 32, it looks like.
These are things you say every day. Looks to the right in a short pass. Terry Farrell will make the completion, and he's got some room to work, and he will be brought down right about the 20-yard line. That'll be a turnover on downs. Tigers will have the ball with just about a minute and 34 left to go, so a couple kneel downs, and this one should be a final, 35-0. Stick with us, though, and after the game, after all the action's over, you'll be able to listen to Ken and myself on the Carolina Trust Bank Stadium postgame show. We'll give out the offensive player, the West End offensive player, the Rhodes and Beal Oil Company defensive player, and the Campers Inn player of the game, as well as the LincolnCounty.com stat sheet. Chase D'Aquila under center in victory formation. A couple kneel downs should do it here. And one kneel should take just a couple more. So, Ken, a couple people in Lincoln County thought East Lincoln had a good shot of coming out on top in this one, and that just didn't happen.
No, this Mount Pleasant team is a strong team. They took care of business tonight and have been very impressive in this win. There's no doubt about that.
So another victory formation kneel upcoming here for Chase D'Aquila. And another kneel down. Should be just one more, and that'll do it. Chase D'Aquila as the clock runs under 40 seconds now. Just waiting for just enough time to pass so you won't have another play clock. And D'Aquila comes under center one more time. This will do it. And a kneel. And that's your ball game as the clock ticks away the final 15 seconds. It's a final. Mount Pleasant 35, East Lincoln 0. Mount Pleasant will move on to the second round of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association football playoffs. And we'll get right into the Carolina Trust Bank Stadium postgame show right after this. Stick with us. Once again, your final score, Mount Pleasant 35, East Lincoln 0.
It's the grand reopening of Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings. During this grand event, get grand savings like $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2016 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive crew cab. Get $5,000 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Encore. And get $7,500 off MSRP on a new 2017 Buick Enclave Convenience. Come in for all the details during the grand reopening, Ronaldo Cadillac Buick GMC at Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event is underway at Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Come in now and ask about 0% financing for 84 months on select Kubota tractors with a big 6-year warranty. Come on in for all the details and don't miss it. The Orange Opportunity Sales Event underway now at Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive off the Oak Grove Road and Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. It's time to trade up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Payment starts at $97 per month, or you can get 2.99% APR financing plus up to $300 customer cash. And that's not all. Get 2.99% financing APR plus up to $1,000 in customer cash. Come in for all the details during the Trade Up to a Yamaha sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Exit 22 at I-85, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. Campers Inn in Kings Mountain presents our second annual holiday bike drive. Camping out for kids December 8th, 9th, and 10th. Campers Inn has partnered with the Kings Mountain Police Department to collect new bikes for the children in our community. They are hoping to collect from 150 to 200 new bikes, from toddlers to teens, and they do all the work. Just bring your unassembled bike and they'll put it together for you. You can help make Christmas brighter for a child this year. Plan now to participate in the 2nd annual Camping Out for Kids Holiday Bike Drive, December 8th, 9th, and 10th at Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. It's the grand opening of the new Renato Honda. The renovations are complete, and you're invited to drop by our new showroom. Check out the great deals this month, like 0.9% APR financing for the 2017 Honda Civics and Honda Accords. Offer ends October 31st. And check out the great specials in the service department. Don't get left out in the cold with a free winter battery test. And right now, get an oil change, tire rotation, and balancing, only $74.95. Don't miss the deals during the grand opening celebration at the new Renato Honda, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Welcome back once again to Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. You're inside the Carolina Trust Bank Stadium post-game show. Once again, your final on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Mount Pleasant 35, East Lincoln 0. And Ken, what happened?
Well, this Mount Pleasant team was just too much for East Lincoln. They're a good team.
Yeah.
We thought they were balanced. They surprised us how well they was able to pass the ball the first half, but once they got the lead, they went to that rushing ground attack, and East Lincoln couldn't stop them. And when they had to pass, they seemed to be successful when they did pass it, and they ran it most of the time in the second half, but they did hit on a 4th and 7. A beautiful touchdown pass from D'Aquila to
Cade McDonald.
Cade McDonald, his second touchdown pass reception of the game, and East Lincoln never could get anything going offensively. They had some penalties that hurt them, but they had less than 100 yards total offense for the game, and you can't win a football game with that.
And that's not something you're used to hearing when you talk about East Lincoln football. So that was the LincolnCounty.com stat sheet, and now the West End Sales Offensive Player of the Game. Who are we going to give that one to, Ken?
Well, the Offensive Player of the Game, I'm going to give it to Chance D'Aquila. He threw 2 touchdown passes, both of them to Cade McDonald. On the game, he was 8 out of 12 for 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also rushed for a touchdown in that first half. So the West End Offensive Player of the Game will give to Chance D'Aquila.
Now the Rhodes and Beal Oil Company Defensive Player of the Game. Who you got for that one?
Well, this Rhodes and Beal Oil Company award for the Defensive Player of the Game, the Mount Pleasant defense as a team, they were just great. It's difficult for me to single out someone because they all played great, good team defense, but someone on the East Lincoln side that was had a couple of tackles for losses, a couple of sacks, and it's been tough all year for them. And again, what made his presence known was Ryan Matz, and I'm going to give Defensive Player of the Game to Ryan Matz.
Yeah, goes out in his final game, gets a couple sacks, makes a couple disruptions in the backfield. Now, who do we want to give the Campers Inn Player of the Game award to?
I'm going to give the Campers Inn Player of the Game award to Landon Honeycutt, who had around 100 yards rushing, had 2 touchdowns rushing in that second half, and he just seemed to, when he had the ball in his hands, East Lincoln could not slow him down. So he was the big rusher tonight. Overbay had a good game. He had around 90 yards rushing, but I thought the most impressive one tonight was Landon Honeycutt, and he's going to get the Campers Inn Player of the Game.
All right, before we get out of here, we'll get you some scores from around the area. In the fourth quarter, Kings Mountain 41, Forest View 7. In the fourth quarter, Crest 35, Monroe 14. Also in the fourth, Lincolnton 25, Graham 19. The Red Devils making a bit of a comeback there on the Wolves. And what was once a pretty close game in the first quarter has now gotten away from Cherryville, 42-0. Swain County on top of the Ironmen. Got a final, Mount Tabor 34, Ashbrook 6. The Green Wave season is over tonight after the first round of the playoffs. Another final, 48-0 South Point over West Iredale, and what's probably no surprise to anybody, 34-14 Hunter Huss over West Rowan. The Huskies will move into the second round of the playoffs for the second consecutive year. Concord makes the comeback on Stuart Kramer. They win 20-19 over the Storm. The Storm shorted on what would have been their 8th win of the year and also their first playoff win in school history. You got to hate that for Coach Ben McMillan. He's one of the good guys. Also a final, Reedsville 51, West Lincoln 0, Shelby 49, Newton Conover 20, and that'll just about wrap things up. Ken, it's good working with you, man.
I enjoyed working with you.
I hope we get to do it again.
We'll do it again sometime, and that pretty much will wrap it up here on the Carolina Trust Bank post-game show.
All right, thanks everybody for listening in. We'll have some more football action for you next week, and stick with it here on KTC Broadcasting for the Renato Automall post-game show. Thanks for listening.
It's the grand reopening of Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Hurry in now for celebration savings.